Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you. And let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch us, even though you missed the live party, guys. That is the best part. So make sure you're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to TheIndianJesus.com for your very own official merch. We got shirts, we got, what do we got? We got shirts and we got shower curtains. Think of me while you're naked only at TheIndianJesus.com. Guys, we do also have a Discord server that is completely free to join 24/7. We are in there hanging out, having a great time, and I definitely suggest you come and join us. And like I said, it is absolutely free. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below the video here, hit that join button. There's a few different tiers, but it starts at just $2.99 a month. Gets you members-only live streams here on YouTube and all that other good stuff. And it opens up the full Discord server. Like I said, there's a bunch there, including the after party. So as soon as we are done here for our Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams, we head over there for an after party. We don't have to worry about any YouTube censors, and you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time. Definitely come and join us. A shout out to King Nirvana saying happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I will be turning 35 at midnight. We also got AIM in the building. Welcome to the party. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. So we had a running poll of what you guys wanted to cover for DRINKSgiving. But before we get into that, dilly to you guys. I am grateful for you. I am grateful for all of you. And so the poll was either we are going to review the debate that I did with Circuit Bard on Friday about God and other stuff, or when Destiny and Jank decided to go at each other. And it seems that you guys have decided Destiny and Jank is the winner. So let's do it. But first, shout out to Sarah Marie. Thank you so very, very much. Said happy birthday. Hey, and of course, every treat or every donation comes with a treat for Morty. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. That is also our first teal or higher super chat on our goal for the swole stream. Let's do some push-ups. Let's get me swole. Let's do it. All right, guys, let's dive right in. As always, if you can't hear the video, please do let me know.
Today, we are going to be speaking with two distinguished gentlemen who have been on the show before. We'll be speaking with Stephen Kenneth Destiny Bennell II, political streamer and debater. And
really? The full name. Shout out to Buddha. Welcome to the party. Thank you so very, very much.
And also, he has a much shorter name, Cenk Uygur, host of The Young Turks. So to get us into this conversation,
we got Schwab in the building. Welcome. I started to watch that, but it was too slow. It was too slow for me. I think I got through the entire first season and I was just like, nah. I tried it. Too slow. But welcome to the party. Very good to see you.
We recently did a poll on our YouTube channel, Unscientific. Does the Democratic Party need to move left or right, or is it fine where it is? 47.
Now, obviously, that is just a hilarious question. To think that you need to ask that question. Does the left need to go further left? Okay, dude.
% of our audience said Democrats should embrace left-wing economic populism and move further to the left. 44% either said that the Democratic Party is perfect
wild.
The way it is, change
it's
nothing.
Just perfect. That's why you lost the election. It's absolutely perfect. Oh my God.
Or should move further to the.
That's what they said about From. I went through the entire first season, and then I'm watching TikTok, and I see all these videos about season 3, watching Lost, or watching From. A little slip of the tongue there, Freudian slip. Yeah, no, I'm good. It needs to be good. I don't want to do homework so that you can tell me a good story later. If you have a good story, tell me the good story. Don't tell, hey, I got to tell you all this stuff and then I'll tell you a good story. Sorry, do not have the patience. Yep, that is it. 11:28. I knew something looked weird. My red lights are off. Hold on. Here, I'll give you this.
Center deal with issues of crime and immigration in a way that more resembles the way the right talks about it, etc. I think to start with, I just want to hear about your reaction to that and which direction sounds like it's the one we need to go in.
So, David, I know those questions are rough and it's hard to phrase them exactly right, but I think that you put two different things into one question, and then hence it becomes misleading. So let me break it down for you. I think that there are three different parts of the Democratic Party now, and they're usually called two different parts, but that's very wrong. So there's the establishment part. I think that's basically the part that Destiny supports. Rah, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, corporate Democrats who will deliver 5 to 10%, and then you're supposed to kiss their ass for it and go, oh my God, you changed my life so much.
Yep.
And it's nothing but propaganda. They do basically almost everything the donors ask them to. That's the loser wing of the party.
Now, keep in mind, I believe it was the very last stream. Was it the last stream where we covered Jank on trigonometry? I think that was the last one, right? And that was recorded that was released 3 days after this was released. So again, I think I am justified in my original title my title of the other one, saying that the Democratic Party should have listened to Jank. Shout out to Nick Luchetti in the building. Welcome to the party, brother. Very good to see ya. Welcome.
And I don't mean that in terms of the folks who are advocating for it. God bless. Everybody's got every right to advocate for what they believe in. I mean, they are literally losers. Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris lost to Donald Trump, who, is barely in double digits in IQ points. Biden nearly lost. So if you want to keep...
I wouldn't hold your breath, girl. I wouldn't hold your breath. Now, lost has okay. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. It's DRINKSgiving. We just chilling. We talking. So the thing with Lost is that it has a lull. So and I won't give any spoilers. So in near the middle of the series, there's a little bit of a lull, which kind of exacerbates the fact that in the beginning there's a lot of questions with no answers. But all of those questions eventually get answered, and there's only a very short period of time where you're very you're taken out of the narrative simply by I don't know what's going on here. And they're definitely guilty of it. But from what I've seen, that's just 3 seasons deep, the entire show. The mysteries of the first season and Lost, they lead somewhere in season 2. And then the mysteries of season 2 lead somewhere in season 3. And so they do have a lot of loose ends and stuff. But I watched the entire season of From. I have no idea what's going on. Now, I watched the entire first season of Yellow Jackets and had no idea what was going on. I watched the first half of the second season of Yellow Jackets and had no idea what was going on. But they kept it engaging, and so I kept watching. Again, if you are telling me a good story, I will watch it. But don't tell me, watch this stuff, and then I'll tell you a good story. That's not how it works for me. Shout out to Jewel. Welcome to the party. Thank you so very, very much. Nick said, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great today. It's nice to see you all. Thanks for being here for the conversation. Man, did we miss you, Nick? Man, did we miss you?
Barely in double digits in IQ points. Biden nearly lost. So if you want to keep making that same mistake, we'll, a couple of decades later, there'll be no party left.
Yep.
But if we just get the best corporate robot like Pete Buttigieg, maybe he'll be the answer. No, corporate robots are by definition not the answer. So we're in a populist era. We're in an era where online media is stronger now for the first time than mainstream media. Authenticity is rewarded. And so sending out people going, I am doing what the donors asked me to, is a disaster, epic disaster. And you've seen it with your own eyes. So I'm trying to wake people up. Now, when you go to the
how are we this much in agreement with Jank?
Progressive side, everybody just goes, oh, progressives. But wait a minute, there's two very different camps in there.
Yep.
I would definitely go back and watch everything. I mean, the ending that's one of those shows where, especially in early season 3, if you kind of miss them, then they're kind of just floundering around. It's really the beginning and the end. So maybe not. But I didn't watch Lost until 5-6 years ago, and I fell off because I was the same thing I'm saying about From. But then as the season or the series finished and all that, and people were like, no, it's actually good. I was like, all right, I'll go back. And then I was hooked. But from just ain't there. It just ain't there. Yellow Jackets. If you like slow burn, Yellow Jackets is the one.
Progressives. But wait a minute, there's two very different camps in there.
Yep.
There's a camp that's Bernie 2016 that I'm in. That's economic populism, left-wing populists. And then there's the identitarian left, which is go maximum on crime doesn't exist. Trans people should be able to play in any professional sports they like. Free surgeries for detainees, on and on and on, right? And so my thesis is not one that's even, I don't even think it's arguable, let alone controversial. The corporate wing and the identitarian.
I see what you mean. But there's so much more in Lost. The first season would have just been an entirely different story. I see what you mean, though. They definitely could have had that story and just, a survival story. That would have been a cool story as well. But I mean, you have to remember the smoke monster, the polar bear, all that stuff was in season 1. So, maybe if they left that stuff out and didn't even touch that, I think that would be a good show. But I was very much like, oh my God, Lost is the worst kind of show. And then I just completely did a 180 on it. Who knows? Maybe after From is done, then I'll watch through all of that and I'll change my mind. But as of now, it's just homework.
Not right. And so my thesis is not one that's even, I don't even think it's arguable, let alone controversial. The corporate wing and the identitarian left wing proved to be a spectacular failure in this election. Clearly the popular wing, and by the way, this is not a matter in dispute. You can just look at the polling. So the identitarian left says defund the police is going to poll really well. Latinx is going to poll really well, except it doesn't. It polls disastrously, right? And the corporate wing says, oh, me kissing the ass of corporations is going to poll really well. And it doesn't. It never does, right? But when you look at
my favorite thing about everything since the election has just been being able to sit back and let them worry about it. Shout out to Garrett Grant. Welcome to the party. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Guys, remember that you can turn, I forget how to do this. If you go to your chat and make sure somebody figure out how to do this. Reactions, or I don't know, there's a way that you can turn on or off gifts. Make sure you turn your gifts on so that when somebody does something like this, you can be gifted a membership. Shout out to Melted Mind Media. Welcome to the party. Good to see you.
Corporation is going to poll really well. It doesn't. It never does, right? But when you look at the populist left, you've got paid family leave, you've got $15 minimum wage, you've got lowering drug prices, on and on and on. Universal health care, they all poll 2/3 or higher. So why not do the thing that's popular? So this is, and of course, there's a reason why they don't. And it's because the whole thing is built on money. I mean, the first thing that Joe Biden took out of the first COVID relief bill was the $15 minimum wage. He was lying about it from day one. He buried that. And why? It was, again, polling over 2/3. Why would you take that out? Why wouldn't you let the Republicans defeat it if they're going to defeat it, and then use it as a tool against them to win elections? The reason you don't do any of that is because your donors ordered you not to do that.
Destiny, about to that point, Bernie Sanders said shortly after the election, I'm paraphrasing, of course, the working class abandoned Democrats because Democrats abandoned the working class.
There you go. And shout out to our sponsors, Garrett Grant and Sarah Marie. Thank you so very much. Thank you very, very much, guys. Much appreciated. Kings, and all I know is I'm excited for the return of Severance. Really hope I get. Yeah, we could definitely do that. But I don't think that's until the spring, right? I don't think that's coming out until spring. So I'm hopefully it's sooner, but we will see. Thank you, brother. Thank you. We also got Right Click. Welcome to the party. Said happy birthday to my favorite Native American Jesus. Why, thank you, sir. And of course, a treat for Marty. Thank you, guys. Very much appreciated. Let's dive right back in here.
Of course, the working class abandoned Democrats because Democrats abandoned the working class.
Yep.
Do you think there's truth to that critique from Bernie?
No, of course.
No, of course.
Oh, come on. I want to do it. Of course. No, we're definitely about the working class, except for the fact that all of our policies are directly against the working class.
Do you think there's truth to that critique from Bernie?
Okay, bad.
No, of course not. It's, I mean, like the reality is incumbent parties all over the world lost. Like in every single country, the incumbent party lost vote share, lost seats in parliament, lost their elected leaders. I mean, like it was a
cope and seed
referendum on inflation worldwide. We all felt it, and inflation is the thing that you feel the cumulative effects of. So there you go. I mean, like when has there ever been a president in recent history that has been better for labor than Joe Biden? And is
Donald Trump
going to be better for labor than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris would have been? Like there's no policy foundation in that statement. And then
and so here is the sweetest part of this is that obviously the left should not be going further left if they want to win. Obviously. But this is Pac-Man's show, and Destiny is very good at what he does. So I have a feeling that they are somehow going to not gang up, but like I have a feeling they're going to make Cenk look like the dumb one and be like, yeah, of course, we should be more left wing and more woke and more all of that. Like, duh, Cenk, you're just out of touch. You're just a boomer. That's what I feel is going to go on here.
Would have been like there's no policy foundation in that statement. And then to Cenk's point, I guess like this is the eternal mystery for progressives is that, and I've argued with so many on this, their candidates are supposedly the most popular, just nobody knows it yet. And all the positions that they have are the most popular positions. Then why do their candidates lose all their elections?
Because they listen to people like you, or the voters listen to people like you.
Even when they're outspending opponents, they lose their elections. Why? Where are all of these progressive candidates taking Congress by storm that are so popular and have all these popular positions? And then I'm curious what Cenk goes.
Like his whole point is that exactly what I said is that they're not winning because you're pushing these ideas and they suck clearly because they lost. I don't understand how Destiny thinks he has a leg to stand on here.
Will say, but I will head off one response because I know it's going to be, well, that's because the party's opposed to them and the corporate donors. The party hated Donald Trump when he ran in 2016. Republicans hated.
And what does that have to do with anything?
Donald Trump when he ran in 2016.
It's not like Donald Trump was hated because he was misunderstood. Donald Trump was hated because he was misunderstood. These other people are hated because they are very acutely understood. That is an entirely different thing. Yeah, right? Are they not? Probably not, though.
2016. It wasn't the billionaire class and it wasn't the donor class. He genuinely got a lot of support from the party and he eventually rose up through the
right, because he's not a shitty he's a shitty politician, but he's good at politics.
The ranks and he became popular and he became the nominee. And I think that if there was a progressive candidate, they could at least be winning their local races. But I mean, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, Cenk, you're
maybe it's like progressivism in and of itself is not what people want. Crazy idea.
shaking your head. How do you see it?
Yeah. So first,
I told you.
I love talking about worldwide elections because I think it goes to exactly the point I'm making.
Hey, thank you so very much, and welcome to the party, Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans. Democrats switch from hating millionaires to hating billionaires. Yup. Welcome, and of course, a treat for Morty, followed up by our girl, Sarah Marie. Said, anyone agreeing to our Indian Jesus finding a better video as a root discussion? No. Well, I had a poll up, and I told you guys to come vote, and you guys voted, so everybody voted for this, so I don't know what to tell you guys. But here we go. Let's give Morty his treat. There we go. Thank you. So very, very much. And says Destiny just says a lot of words together, so it sounds like he knows what he's talking about. But nope, he's an idiot. Cenk is actually correct. And that is exactly why we are breaking down what they're saying, because that's how most people see it. Oh, he's using bigger words. Oh, he's saying it faster, so he must be winning. Nope. And a beautiful point from Jack. I'm going to call you Jack instead of calling you Jackass. Jack said all three of these dudes are millionaires. but they're all against the elites, right? It's insane. You cannot make that shit up. Good catch. King said, I'm not hating on his beard, but it looks like the one side is shaved off. Maybe an alopecia thing. Who? Destiny?
I love talking about worldwide elections because I think it goes to exactly the point I'm making. Candidates that are for the status quo are losing everywhere. And what's interesting is they keep going, I don't get it. Brazil went left, then right, then left. UK went left, then right, then left.
Let's see.
What's going on here? Are they left or are they right? They're not left or right. What the voters are doing is voting for change and voting for populism. And so that is your Rosetta Stone. That will tell you if the right winger or the left winger is going to win. And so even Macron was a new party when he won in stunning fashion. Then he did the standard thing that everybody else does, and then they voted against him because then he became the status quo. What is the status quo that the whole world is vomiting out right now? That's neoliberal policies. Give all the money to the very top, and don't worry, it'll trickle all over you many decades from now. As people on the left, we've been fighting against this ideology for decades. But now,
let's see. What looks like one side is shaved off. Yeah, no, I think. Yeah, he's got it down here. He's got this one. Yeah, this side's just a little lower. Ooh, yeah, clean that up, bro. What are you doing? Like, I mean, I need a shave, but I in general need a shave. He shaped that, and he looked in the mirror. He was like, yep, looks good.
Now our leaders have been co-opted by the donor class, and they say the same goddamn thing. And that's why we're losing these elections. It's not a matter of whether Donald Trump is better for labor than Kamala Harris. Of course not. But the question is, in the primary.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, you could see all the way down into here. And then why is there hair here? Like, you got to bring that down. Like, I get it that you probably wanted this on this side, and then you probably went too far and had to clean it up. But then you even it out and wait for it to grow back in. Like I'm doing right now.
Is a candidate like Bernie Sanders better than Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris on labor? And the answer is obviously. So go towards labor, go towards change. So look, even within this election, guys, it was a perfect microcosm. When Kamala Harris first came out, Anna and I on the Young Turks said, oh my God, she's running a brilliant campaign. We're on tape saying that. Why? She came out as an economic populist in the beginning. She went after corporations doing price gouging. She went after the housing prices. She was addressing the economic needs of the average man. And then she picked Tim Walz, the most populist of any of the potential candidates. And then she took what...
Is he, though? In fact, I keep saying that, but maybe he is. Maybe that is really the state of the Democratic Party, that the best they have is Tim Walz. That can't be true, right? That can't be true. I'm not very well versed on governors and senators of the Democrats, but they have to have somebody better than Tim Walz. That they're all like, oh, well, yeah, obviously.
Walz, the most populist of any of the potential candidates. And then she took what was Joe Biden was down in the polling anywhere from 2 to 8 points nationally. She eventually sprung up to 7 points ahead nationally. She had it. And on the show, I said, if the election were held today, she'd win. And that was true. And then a giant turnaround. And she lost the lead entirely and lost the election. What was the turnaround? Her brother-in-law, Tony West, who's a corporate lawyer for Uber, convinced her to kiss the ass of corporations. And that was a brilliant political strategy. So what did she do?
It always is.
Put out a letter of 90
until Donald Trump
corporate CEOs backing her. And she started bragging about all the corporate CEOs are on my side. All the corporate CEOs are on my. I'm like, stop. You're doing terrible damage, right? And then she had Mark Cuban go on every cable news show. Now, guys, remember, she's in favor of big business. Don't worry, big business. She loves big business. Then Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, all the wrong direction. And she lost the lead and she lost the election. It's right there. It happened right in front of your eyes. So now this idea of that the establishment wing uses. Just because we spend billions of dollars against your progressive candidates and we have all of mainstream media lying and doing propaganda on our behalf and saying there are no donor class. The donor class doesn't affect anything. Oh my God, the billions they took in donations from corporations, it doesn't affect anyone. No, Bernie Sanders is the real problem. He's going to execute people in Central Park. Oh my God, if he actually serves the average American, it's going to be terrible. Everybody unite against him, right?
And that was pretty much it. And as Jack says here, in order to be a populist Democrat, you have to lie. And guys, that is half Wait, 5 more, and I'm on the floor. Thank you so very, very much, sir.
Actually serves the average American, it's going to be terrible. Everybody unite against them, right?
True. In order to be a politician, you have to lie. That is why lying is not a disqualifying factor for a politician. They all lie.
And you guys all saw it with your own eyes. Think about it. In 2013, when Bernie Sanders was polling at 1% against Hillary Clinton, I did a video on the Young Turks saying that brother could actually beat Hillary Clinton in the 2016 primary. Why did I say that? Not because of Bernie. Bernie's a great guy. He means well, etc. He's got his faults like everybody does. But it's because I sensed a massive populist energy in the country. And he went from 1% to 48%.
Yes, sir.
So why did he not get over the hump and get to 52%?
Because the DNC screwed him over. But there was Cenk is absolutely right that even if you look at my political journey, there was always, like I've told you guys, I've been very interested in the way society works and issues and stuff, but I just wasn't interested in politics until I was. And so when I started, then, I had that populist mentality. I just didn't know any better and got caught up in the mainstream bullshit, which is why I was for Bernie. Then, was convinced to vote for Hillary, despite the fact that I had a populist mindset, and then eventually voted for Trump. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
38%. So why did he not get over the hump and get to 52%? Because the minute he got into the 40s, they went from ignoring him to he's going to execute people in Central Park. His followers are brown shirts. He's anti-Semitic. He's this, he's that. He's terrible. So yeah, with all of the media and all the money against you, it's a little harder to win. If you don't acknowledge that, you're just being intellectually dishonest.
Do you acknowledge?
Wait a minute. Destiny? Being intellectually dishonest?
Oh, hell no.
That wouldn't happen.
Wait, hold on. Last thing. But despite all that, I helped to co-found Just Democrats. We launched it on the Young Turks. And everybody told me there's maybe you'll get one. We got 11 people rejecting corporate PAC money into Congress. It was stunning. And we had one of the most stunning political upsets literally in American history when AOC beat Crowley. And we did that with almost no money. Okay. So even with overwhelming odds against us, anything that is remotely just a 5% fair playing field and we win. Imagine if we had the party infrastructure with us rather than against us.
Again, regardless of what you think about AOC, regardless of what you think about Cenk, he's right here. He's absolutely right. Shout out to TV Viewerski. Welcome to the party. Thank you so very, very much. And there he is. We also got Box in the building. Welcome. Just so happens that we are talking with Cenk again. Welcome to the party.
So, Destiny, address any of that you want, but specifically Cenk's answer to your question about why aren't the progressives winning if the ideas are so popular, that Cenk said, which is when Bernie got into the 40s, the entire apparatus gets aligned against him.
Yep. And again, to echo what Cenk said, I don't know how you could argue against that. I mean, that was the rally cry of the Never Trumper left wing, was that the DNC screwed over Bernie. And so that was what happened. I'm very curious how he's going to, work around this. But let's see. Hey, Jack became a member. Hell yeah, buddy. Welcome to being a disciple. There we go. Love to see it. Of course, you are already in the Discord, so you already know what's good. You're gonna have a good time.
I mean, it becomes an unfalsifiable claim. Like, it might just be that Bernie was just too far to the left for what the Democratic Party was ready to handle, which you would expect to see reflected in the media and in the people. I mean, it becomes unfalsifiable. You can have elections where, like, Nina Turner is spending a ton of money and she still loses. You can have elections where the progressives are spending a lot of money and there's always a reason. It's either a new corporate donor or a new media is being biased or a new whatever. All the media hated Trump. That didn't stop him in 2016. The Republican Party hated Trump. That didn't stop him in 2016.
Oh yeah, guys. Any donation at all, member or not, gets a treat for morning. Look how goddamn cute he is.
I think that at some point, progressives will have to understand that it takes more than just, screaming about the most leftist populist policies ever to get elected.
But I thought your position was that the left needed to move more left. That's exactly what you're arguing for here, bro. Did you not realize that was what you were arguing for? That was the original question. Does the left need to move more left? Is it perfect, or does it need to move more to the center? But TV makes a great point here that, it's interesting how this stuff plays out, because not only did we get Trump, but we got 2 terms of Trump, but we technically got 12 years of MAGA by the end of by this term. So it all kind of works out. It all kind of works out. I feel you, brother. I feel you.
More than just, screaming about the most leftist populist policies ever to get elected. We talk about like the world had a referendum on neoliberalism. No, it was just a referendum on incumbent parties. And sometimes when
I didn't lose, just the world lost.
You vote for it, people see that it doesn't even work out. It was a whole bunch of populism that moved to Brexit, and that hasn't worked out well for the UK at all. So now they're kind of trending back in the other direction.
Okay, I am far from an expert on Brexit, but from what I understand, Brexit was about the free movement of different people, different types of people within the EU. And the UK was just like, or I don't know if it was the UK or Britain or whatever. They were just like, we don't really want to fuck with that. But that was after things already got bad. That's like saying, whatever happens with illegal immigration, standard money too. But I think that correct me if I'm wrong. But I think the biggest thing was about immigration. And so the fact that that Britain and the UK is not doing great right now, despite Brexit. It's not because of Brexit. In the same way that just because illegal immigration isn't going to be A-OK on January 20th, that's not because Donald Trump was elected. In fact, it was the other way around. Donald Trump was elected because immigration was so bad. And so I might argue, from ignorance, mind you, that maybe Brexit happened because of immigration and not the other way around, or because of whatever, because of these things and not the other way around. Jackass again said, I don't want to be a part of any group that wants me as a member. I'm not a team player, yet I joined. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And of course, a treat for Morty. There he is. Yummy. Thank you very, very much.
If anything, a lot of the rejection, especially through Europe, and a lot of the reasons why those countries are tending right, have to do with fallouts from the refugee crisis still, and all of the migrants fleeing into Europe still. So I mean,
long ass names fucking up my fucking captions.
Like this idea that the world wants these, hollow, empty populist leaders that at the end of the day don't even have great policies for them. And again, for some reason, where are they? Why are they not taking over Congress? Like, where are all of these people in Congress? We had the Justice Sims that came in originally, which was awesome. But there was, I don't remember this exactly, but I remember I looked up the stat because they went from saying that like only 10% of our candidates won to like 90% of our candidates. The Justice Sims went from supporting, I think, like 70 plus candidates one season to the next election cycle, like 6. And, if there was so much of this populist energy, why aren't they being elected everywhere? Like, they're still representing a minority opinion in the party.
Maybe it's a minority opinion because it's a bad opinion.
Destiny, I want to stick with,
like, why don't they, at no point have they ever thought, nobody likes our ideas. What's wrong with that? Why wouldn't you think that your ideas are just bad? Again, from Jack, thank you, said Brexit was about the EU wanting to ban British sausage. Interesting. I did not know that, and I am learning. And Marty is eating. Thank you. 3 more, and I'm on the floor. Thank you, sir.
Elected everywhere. Like, they're still representing a minority opinion in the party.
Destiny, I want to stick with you for a second. Before the election, you tweeted, if Kamala ends up winning, the entire far left, the commies, tankies, Hamas supporters, etc., need to be effing jettisoned from the party. We don't need them to win. We can turn out our own base, and they are an absolute effing cancer to be associated with. Given Trump's victory and whatever it means to you, do you stand by that?
Yeah, 1 trillion%.
1 trillion%. Like, just say yes. Of course, absolutely. 1 trillion%. You guys got to know how right I really was. I don't know. I used to really, really respect this dude. Shout out to Guam Tech. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Box said, it's Is it a good thing or is it the mob mentality? Germany thought they had a good idea once. Ideas lost to Hitler once. True, but that's what I was just watching something on this. This is what happens when people don't stand up for what they believe in. That is how we got Biden in the first place. That is how we got Bush and all of these presidents. So yes, sure, people can mob mentality can work, but only when you don't challenge the ideas. Only when you see conformity as something good. TV said must be odd in Destiny's world. I mean, how do you do your hair when there are no mirrors? Shout out to Taco Baco. Welcome. Said say what you want about Bernie. He's kind of beloved across the board. Even people who have different opinions of him seem to respect his drive. Bernie would have had a way better chance. You mean against Trump? Yeah. It's not progressivism. I mean, yeah, but I don't know how much better socialism would have played. But my thinking at the time was that Bernie was going to bring in these, when I say far left, I don't mean woke. I mean far left in terms of economic. These further left economic ideas, and then the rest of the Democratic Party would kind of, be a filter before it actually got to the Senate or whatever. That's what I was thinking at the time. But I don't know. But so I find the real problem to be the money in politics, insider trading, lobbyist money, dark money, left, right, and center.
Bingo.
Yep. I just saw this meme the other day. Let's make it a poll for you guys. Which would make more money? We'll do following, which make more money. Nancy Pelosi, stock picks, or the opposite of Jim Cramer's picks. Jim Cramer's the mad money. You gotta buy this now. Bald white guy, that guy. The whole of government seems to be corrupt. Yep.
Means to you. Do you stand by that?
Yeah, 1,000,000,000,000%. I think that having
Great.
to answer
We should
for
jettison you.
having to, well, but I mean, I represent far more of the party than the far left.
Apparently you don't. Apparently you represent the loser wing.
You can
Jettison,
loser like every progressive
eject,
candidate that is
eject.
running in all of their elections that are being tossed. They lose their primaries. They lose their actual elections. Like they're losers. They're by definition they're losers. The issue is that one is the lefty media sphere will never ever support a candidate that is electable in the mainstream. They just won't. They turn on Bernie Sanders and they turn on AOC. Even those people aren't far left enough for the insanity that is the far left online now. So trying to kowtow to this like group of people who want to see like an actual communist or like this like anti capitalist or this like just somebody that's too far left that most European countries probably wouldn't even support in leadership. It's just an unrealistic proposition.
Contact is an interesting question here. It said, what would I ever do being anti-establishment when that idea becomes the establishment? Well, the establishment isn't necessarily inherently a bad thing. It just is right now because of the way it operates. Like structures and institutions and stuff aren't inherently bad. They just happen to be bad right now. So if our ideas that we have right now were the establishment, then we'd be great. Then it would just be good. Not perfect, but I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. We would just be able to rest. That's it. And so yeah, it's absolutely not about just being anti-authoritarian or take that back, anti-authority or anti-establishment for the sake of it. It's because of the fact that the institutions and the establishments are bad.
Most European countries probably wouldn't even support in leadership. It's just an unrealistic proposition, unless they can actually prove, some of their, I guess, merit at more local levels, or even like in congressional levels, rather than just like for the presidential race. That's number one. And number two, that media sphere is toxic, and we have to pretend that they're part of the in-group. Again, a big benefit that Trump enjoys is when he gets attacked, Trump can run this whole media circuit on the right where every single person is sycophantically obsessed with him. He doesn't have to answer any.
Are you here? Let me know if you're here before I say anything.
Any attacks. He can sit there and attack the other side endlessly and relentlessly, and there's no accountability. And then you're Kamala Harris or you're, the Democratic candidate is like, okay, well, going on the right platforms is very difficult because these people are going to, rake me over the coals. And then I go to the left platforms. These people all call me corporate sellouts, donor class, whatever. Okay, well, Jesus.
Yeah, it's called being an independent thinker. have a backbone and don't fucking care when people call you names because they don't like your ideas.
Loser.
Shout out to Dylan Zoop. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Good to see you. And yes, as I promised, we would only ever cover Destiny when it was juicy. And so when we get an opportunity for Jank to a win against Destiny, we are going to enjoy it. We are going to enjoy it. Yep. No accountability ever. Taco said it's not anti-establishment. It's I want my establishment. I mean, yeah, I don't. Kind of the same thing, but like I want my absolutely I want my establishment, and my establishment is not what the establishment is now. So I'm both anti what the establishment is now, and I want my establishment, not mutually exclusive ideas.
People all call me corporate sellouts, donor class, whatever. Okay, well, Jesus. Yep. I've got my center left media, but they're so obsessed with trying to be fair and balanced and to try to not be not.
You like me? You really? Oh, you don't? Oh no! Please like me! I need you to like me. My ideas aren't good enough to make a living on their own. I just need you to like me. Pathetic. Shout out to Jag again. Said it's not hard to make money. You don't have to be smart. You just need discipline. I'm not smart, but I have assets. There you go. Some financial advice, not from me, but from Jackass Whiskey Pinto and Jackass Whiskey and Pinto. I don't know why I keep saying that, but thank you so very, very much out sponsoring yourself. Thank you so very, very much. That's old news, bro. That's old news. That's like 2015 news, bro. Come on, you gotta keep up.
My center left media, but they're so obsessed with trying to be fair and balanced and to try to not be not have like Trump derangement syndrome that they're going to hold me like ultra accountable. So you have these wacky, unbelievable moments where people like Walls and Vance are on stage, and the question for Walls is, didn't you lie 20 or 30 years ago about the months you were in Taiwan? And then the question for
no. The question was not about the months or the number of months. It was about the specific time period where a historical event happened. So that's like saying somebody who said that they were in Manhattan on 9/11 and lied about that. Destiny would be like, didn't you just say that? Like, didn't all he said was that he was in New York at the wrong time? What? Fucking pardon? That is semantic obfuscation. Oh, he's just there for a few months. Cope indeed. And hey, shout out to Adam. Welcome to the party. Said get those gains, and we will do. We are one away. And of course, a treat for Morty. Thank you so very, very much. That's a sad part, Dylan. I don't think that is it at all. I don't think he would even want that. I think he just is this person. He just thinks these things. He believes these things. And that's who he is. When people tell you who they are, believe them. Certainly, there's always a reason to follow the money and see, but sometimes people are just who they are. Shout out to Brandon. Welcome to the party. Thank you very much. And yes, guys, Papa Lutch is in the ER and will not be able to make it to Thanksgiving tomorrow. So positive vibes, please. Very much appreciated. Welcome to the party. Thank you, sir.
You lied 20 or 30 years ago about the months you were in Taiwan. And then the question for Vance is like, did you really mean it when you said you would also overturn like the next election? And we have to pretend that these two things are even. It's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous the way that you framed that.
Democrat establishment and then the Democratic media sphere needs to do a better job at like reinforcing the voting for the in-group. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is getting your candidate elected. You can do all the activism on Twitter or whatever you want, but if you're
not making America better, okay,
you're not pushing for electable candidates to get elected, then you're engaging in slacktivism.
Jen, feel free to respond to that however you want, but I would.
Tago said, thinking or lying about you being in China during a certain event is different than making up stories that immigrants are eating pets. I mean, it's different, but is it worse? I don't know. Let's see. So definitely we like Nancy Pelosi. Which is worse? Lying to make yourself let's just say lying to say you were at Tiananmen, or lying to bring attention to a real story. See, I can play that game too.
Would love to hear you address the issue Destiny's bringing up about the asymmetry when it comes to...
I sure hope not. Let's just say I hope not. But I would not be surprised.
To the media ecosystems. And it's not about if she had done Rogan, she would have won. I don't believe that. I don't think there's any evidence of that. But generally, the question of the media ecosystem.
Yeah. So lots of thoughts here. First off, why could Trump overcome it and Bernie couldn't? You're leaving out the fact that Trump was an enormous celebrity, and they literally gave him over $1 billion in free media as he was running on the Republican side. Whereas Bernie Sanders got, in his miraculous run to catch Hillary Clinton that started in 2015, where he went from 1 point to basically about 48 percentage points, ABC covered him for 7 seconds, the whole year. 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's the point, bro. That's the point. That's what Destiny did. That's why we're doing this.
So that's what mainstream media does, because they're literally corporate media. They're multi-billion-dollar corporations. So they hate actual populists like Bernie Sanders, fake populists like Donald Trump. Oh, it's a clown show. We're having fun. Give him a couple $1 billion in free media and see how it turns out. Well, it turned out very poorly. And there's a conflation here between mainstream media and left-wing media. I think that the question on the debate stage that Destiny's referring to, yeah, totally outrageous, asymmetrical, ridiculous. Those two things are not comparable. That's mainstream media doing false equivalency. That's not the conversation that we're having here. We're very, very far from mainstream media. So in terms of what went wrong with the Just Democrats, real quick, and then I'll come back to what should left-wing media do. So in the beginning, when the co-founders were running it, that's when we ran to 70 candidates and we were very successful. Unfortunately, all of us kind of left the building for different reasons. And then the new management decided they were going to run only a small number of races. But to be fair to them, they actually won a very high percentage of those races in the second time around. That's how they were able to build up from 4 to 11. So there's good arguments, political strategy-wise, for either direction. But what really took the steam out of Just Democrats is that the founders wanted AOC and the others to go in a populist left direction, an economically populist direction. And instead, that's very, very difficult. The reason why it's so difficult is because their colleagues get so mad at them if they talk about money and politics, because then they...
How dare
Yep.
you?
Like I said, the worst of the worst, Trump in high appointments is right. He's clearing out some swamp, and the second time is better. I hope so. I hope so. And trust me, I'm gonna be very, very vocally angry if Trump does not, live up to the expectation. So look out for that. But I'm hoping we don't get there. But like I said, the lefty in me said AOC is washed up. She's 2 terms away from being the next Pelosi. I can see it. I don't necessarily agree, but I could see it. I would not be surprised. Shout out to Mighty Starlock. Welcome to the party. And thank you very much. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, you guys are trying to go in the other direction. But exactly. What did you say? Literally warping the question for the poll. It's almost like I was pulling a Destiny.
Is because their colleagues get so mad at them if they talk about money and politics, because then they all go, are you saying Hakeem Jeffries is corrupt just because he took all this money from the oil companies, the drug companies, the banks, AIPAC, everything?
Again, remember when we talked about how when he was talking to Constantine and they're like, all right, let's just see or what oh, they were talking about January 6th. And it was like, yeah, let's just say all of them deserve to be arrested, whatever. And we were like, hold on, that's not the truth. But what Constantine saw was that, oh, I don't need that point. My larger point still stands. So I like we know this. Just people aren't going to believe it. We don't have enough of the hard evidence yet. So let them believe what they want to believe. And then just like everything that's happened over the past 4 years, it'll be like, oh, we were right, weren't we?
Every other lobbyist are using, you better not be mean to your colleagues. So they powered down on our most popular positions, and they went identitarian left instead. But that
the question matters, absolutely. But so does the framing of the way that you are talking about what is being questioned, which is why I questioned it the way that I wanted to pull the poll in my direction. You guys were just like, oh, I see what you're doing here. What we got? All right.
That is extreme. So that's why Destiny's conflating those two things. And I think, I'm not saying Destiny's doing this, but I think that a lot of people in media almost do that on purpose. A lot of them don't know. They just think progressives means both of those things at the same time. And then they just say, oh, they're all unpopular. And a lot of times, especially mainstream media, they'll go defund the police, Latinx, universal healthcare. Wait, one of those things does not belong on that list. Universal healthcare pulls it over 70%. So you've got to separate out those two wings. Anyone who's been economically populist has done a terrific job. For example, Tim Walz. We all like Tim Walz, right? Every wing of the Democratic Party likes Tim Walz. Well, Tim Walz was an economic populist, got a lot of things passed in Minnesota, and was rewarded for it, and was very.
Max is like, no, I'm not here. That ain't me.
Very popular in Minnesota because he delivered for the average guy, including paid family leave, and which is actually very, very easy to pass. It's at 84% approval.
I mean, maybe, well, not maybe. All I know of him is what we saw in the 3 or so months that he was in the race. And, you know, as much as I thought Ron DeSantis was going to do really well, right out the gate, he just tripped over the gate. He tripped over the gate and just fell flat on his face. So maybe, maybe he is a good governor. I don't know. And yeah, that's definitely a good thing. I think kids should be able to eat. Definitely in favor of illegal weed. But again, just like as a character, he's just a very odd like the choices that he makes, the mannerisms that he has. And again, when we talk about politics, we are not talking about being friends with somebody. We're talking about this type of stuff, getting the stuff that we want, getting the policies that we want. But oh God, oh baby, come smell this, Tim. Oh the rubber. Oh, these summer love riots. Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah, I can't forget about that.
And which is actually very, very easy to pass.
I love when you guys bring that up.
It's at 84% approval. It's just that the corporate wing.
I don't like the government getting involved in businesses, so not for that.
Goes, yes, I know. It would make us popular. It would help our voters. It's what we promised. It's super easy to pass, but we don't want to because our donors told us not to. Well, that's a wing that's going to get clobbered throughout the rest of time. That's the neoliberal wing. And the idea that the world is not under neoliberal rule right now is absurd. Of course we are. All the countries are under neoliberal corporate rule. And that's why the voters are rebelling against all of them. So what's the media supposed to do? Now, online media, corporate media is going to corporate media. They're always going to tell you whoever takes the most donor money is the greatest. They're leading the race with $1 billion in bribes. Bravo, bravo, terrific.
Who said I was ignoring Trump? It's almost like I like Trump despite the odd mannerisms. Like I don't know how many times we have to explain this. I don't know. I mean, go back to the last time I explained it. I don't know what to tell you. What I do know is that we met our goal. Let's get swole. Thank you so very, very much to Unwanted Foe. There we go. Thank you. We also got Avery in the building. Welcome. It is swole time, guys. It is swole time. Do it with me. What did I say? 20 push-ups. I'm 35, and I can do 20. I don't know how old you are, but you can do 10. Let's do it. Hyping everybody up. Let's go. Who's ready? Let's go. Woo. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, and 1 for good luck. Let's go. go. Hell yeah. I feel it. I feel it. Whew. Thank you, sir. Put a 1 in the chat if you did it. If you, hey, Nick, who else is on the swole team? Let's see the swole team. Hey, jackass, thank you so very, very much. Yeah, I was asking before about stolen valor, and Tim Walz. You just, I don't know. I need this, guys. This is not fake. But yeah, that's. I mean, no matter what you want to say about Trump, he didn't lie about being in combat. And I was just talking about. I was just talking about this because, I've been watching 60 Days In, and so similar but different. Or actually, it actually did come up directly. But people claiming different gangs and stuff that they're not a part of to get status in jail. Same thing. There was a bunch of Marines there. And there was this other guy claiming to be a Marine, and they were not happy about it. And I was like, I know that like there's a visceral thing for me who's never served, who's never been in combat, who's never, done anything like that. I know that I have a visceral reaction to somebody claiming specifically that they were in the U.S. military. Now, I mean, if you want to claim you're blood and you ain't a blood, or you a crib, you're a leg, I don't give a fuck about that. But the U.S. military is just a little bit different. There we go. Come on, Tech said, pay yourself, bitches. There you go. Buck said that Navy SEAL guy that calls out stolen valor is a boss. Yeah, I will watch those videos every goddamn day. I did say, yes. Okay. Buck said I lifted 3,000 pounds of metal today. No need for push-ups. Fair enough. Fuck you, and fuck you. Yeah, stolen valor is just something you just don't do. It might. I mean, this is a pretty comfy chair, so that's not really top of the list. But yeah, so all of that money does go to making the stuff better. I keep getting these ads on TikTok for the nice gamer computer chairs, and I don't know. I'm not up there yet, but yeah, definitely. There you go, guys. Good for you. All right. Let's jive right back in. Cope. No, it's just all undone. I don't know, but personally, that it's just all undone. Like it's all undone.
They're leading the race with $1 billion in bribes. Bravo! Terrific job, corporate Republican. And remember, guys, Trump beat the corporate Republicans. Like, you guys make it seem like, hey, people are in favor of Republicans, or their voters are
exactly
their voters rejected
exactly. Trump beat the GOP Republicans. They didn't just like, well, okay. He beat them.
And it came with a lot of baggage we're not happy with, right? But you have to give him a little bit of credit for actually, not for supporting Trump, who I think is a fake populist, but for at least.
How is he a fake populist? In what way is he a fake populist? Shout out to Zippy DSM Lee. Welcome to the party. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Oh, that's me. That's hilarious. Okay, that is not what I thought I was. Okay, never mind. Moving on. I was gonna try to get the clip. And I searched Big Booty Latinas on Twitter. Don't do that. It's a good thing I didn't. It's a good thing I didn't pull it up here first. I forgot that they have. See, I don't know what is up with y'all's feed. But people are talking about like, oh my God, there's so much P-Hub content on Twitter and stuff, and I know there is, but that shit doesn't show up on my timeline. What are y'all watching? And true, Zippy said Trump also broke the Democrats, broke the damn D off. Oof. Indeed, indeed. Oh, all right. Sarah said even Norwegians can't deal with the fact. What? This is like the third time you've. Yeah. Why are we breaking this up like this? Mr. T beating. That's not a full sentence, girl. I don't know what you're doing.
Like not for supporting Trump, who I think is a fake populist, but for at least rejecting Mitch McConnell, rejecting all those guys. So on our side, we say, oh, Mitch McConnell took $1 billion in corporate money throughout his career. Terrible, evil, corrupt guy. Nancy Pelosi took a same $1 billion from very similar donors, did exactly what they wanted, just like Mitch McConnell. Terrific, angel, wonderful. Yeah, you could think that, and you could do all the marketing in the world for rah Nancy Pelosi. But at the end of the day, the American people woke up, and they know that the $1 billion, whether it goes to a Republican or a Democrat, is corruption defined. So what we should...
It's insane that Destiny is this out of touch, that Cenk Uygur on David Pakman's platform is schooling him right now. What is happening?
Do is we should have strong primaries and really challenge our candidates, because this whole idea of anointing, how's that working out for us? So we were supposed to trust the geniuses in Democratic leadership. Oh my God, they're
the experts
playing four-dimensional chess. We'll never figure out what they're doing. They're so smart. Really? Even under Obama.
Are they
Obama won a couple of times, and that's a long history, and we can talk about how selfish he was. But in the meanwhile, while he was in office, the Democrats lost 1,000 seats nationwide. And by the way, the guy most responsible for that was Rahm Emanuel. And now the corporate Democrats are saying, let's bring back Rahm Emanuel to lose another 1,000 seats. Are you insane? And then they said, oh, we have to anoint Hillary Clinton. How did that turn out? We have to anoint Joe Biden. We have to anoint Kamala Harris. And by the way, Biden only won by 43,000 votes to 3 swing states. They nearly lost.
With 20,000 extra votes that disappeared.
Lost to this imbecile 3 times. Look, you can't say someone has despotic tendencies, is a fascist, is a moron, is the worst guy in the world, and then lose to him 2 times and say,
well, 3 really.
You should put me back in charge because I know what I'm doing. No.
And we're like, you're goddamn right.
Oh, they have proven definitively that they do not know what they're doing.
Destiny, go ahead.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Trump. He's speechless. He's speechless. He don't know what to do.
Destiny, go ahead.
I mean, there's nothing to say. Like, progressives have nothing to show for their record. They have like that polling, like that 70-80% of Americans support single payer. That's not true. We've done the polling on this over and over and over again. If you poll in the most favorable manner, they support it. If you poll for what it actually is, that support plummets to like 25%.
That's not remotely true.
It is absolutely true. I don't remember if it was
You're arguing against Democratic policies. It's amazing. Why don't you just join the Republican Party?
It's a good line there. And I like that he used that line, but it's like, exactly, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. No matter what happens, you position yourself as this center, this extreme center leftist that everybody else, it's like the idea that when you are driving, that if you make a mistake, it's like, well, geez, and somebody's honking at you. It's like, hey, yo, relax, just whatever. But somebody does something, you're like, you fucking moron. That's Destiny. Except he doesn't realize that that's a natural state of being when you're behind the wheel. He thinks that the other example is anyone driving slower than you is retarded, and anybody driving faster than you is a maniac. But you have the perfect speed. That is Destiny. Nick said, we're in the Twilight Zone, aren't we? Because this dude sounding based has got to be the Twilight Zone. It's only comparative. It's only relative. And remember, he's on screen with David Pakman and Destiny. So he, by default, is the most base person on that panel. But, you know, I ain't saying much. Oh, man. To live... Like, I live in this little development that's kind of tucked away in the middle of nowhere. So it takes 10 minutes just to get on these little tiny roads to get to the highway to get anywhere. So everywhere, even if it's like 10 miles away, it's still a 15, 20-minute drive. I've always lived right off the highway. We're just boom, 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 parking lot, driveway, good, done. I'm not used to this. Cenk is not based. He's just more based than either of those two. Zippy, the leftists have returned to being the Confederacy in broad daylight.
Bingo.
Yup. Taco said, P long. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, I didn't just say that he did the same thing with the documents? Thought so. All right, moving on.
We're
So
not
let me
arguing
just
about whether or
interject
not
one
the
thing
policy
here.
is good or
Let's back that up.
it's absolutely true. I don't remember if it was
You're
equal
arguing
or
against democratic policies. It's amazing. Why don't you just join the Republican Party?
we're
So
not
let me
arguing
just
about whether or
interject
not the
one thing
policy is
here.
good or bad.
If I
hold
can
on.
interject one thing
Oh,
here.
yeah, go ahead.
From what I've seen, the polling Cenk mentions does exist, around 70-75% support. The polling I've seen with what we might call more specific wording, it's not that support drops to 25%, but I have seen it drop to more like 48 to 50%. I do think a lot of it's complicated because if you just ask someone, does the government have a basic level of responsibility to give people some health care?
No.
Most people say yes, and also a lot of them don't necessarily know what that means. I don't know that we're going to solve whether it's a good policy based on 3 different polls that ask it in a different way. I don't know. I've seen the polling.
Well, no,
both
yeah,
of you
I
are
understand.
referring
I'm
to.
just saying that, like, if you want to, if you want to actually pass any policy or do anything, you have to have an actual realistic understanding of what it is Americans even think before you even begin to go down the path of how do we implement it.
Oh, and you, sir, are right on the pulse of what America thinks. Not just having a constant stream of people sucking your farts on your screen all day. Okay, bro.
Realistic understanding of what it is Americans even think before you even begin to go down the path of how do we implement it. And the reality is single payer healthcare. When you ask somebody, do you think the government should provide health insurance for people? That polls incredibly well.
Yes.
When you ask, should the government be, the second question, there were all 3 of these were listed in I wish I could remember the name of the polling firm, but this is around.
I think it's the Kaiser Family Foundation. That
it might be that. There's a second way of asking it that's more neutral of like, do you think that the government should be, do you think?
Wait a minute. I want to vote here. So in case there's anyone who doesn't know, Cenk's nephew is one of the most annoying people on the internet. Who might you be talking about?
That the government should be able to offer insurance or something for all levels, something like that. But then the third question is, should the government be the sole provider of insurance and ban private insurance? And that one is incredibly unpopular. I think that's
the ban private insurance. It's like even countries that have universal systems, they don't ban. Most of them don't ban private insurance. So I don't even know why that would be included necessarily.
Because that's what Bernie's plan was. Bernie's plan for healthcare was the furthest left plan of any country that would have ever existed.
Again, if at the time, I'm just talking about what I was thinking at the time. I would have to re-enter that mindset and see what he's saying and all that stuff. But at the time, it did seem like, even though it was the furthest to the left, that there was specific aspects of it that, again, at the time seemed like they were okay. And then I had I don't even know where I got it. I might have just pulled it out of my ass. They're like, okay, well, he's way far to the left. But the rest of the party is going to bring him in, like rein him in. Why wouldn't they? Right? That's what I thought. I don't know. But like I said, I did not like Bernie's healthcare plan. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what it is I don't like about it now. It's just been the entire paradigm of how I've looked at politics and the political landscape has changed. So I wouldn't even be able to tell you. He said, if government provides healthcare, the cost will skyrocket and main pods would be used for paper cuts. Yeah, exactly. Provides equals pays for, and if you pay for it, you own it.
On the face of the earth. There is
Yes,
no
that's
other
A,
plan.
Not true, and B, you really sound like a Republican.
That's great,
like
but I
Mitch
actually read
McConnell
the
right
policy,
now.
okay? So Bernie Sanders' plan included things like no copay for drugs and covered things like vision and dental and provided for a single means of both insurance and I believe delivery medicine throughout the entire country. It was more left than any other medical plan on the planet. I do agree with what you're saying, Pac.
And again, like if we had that and then other people were like, well, okay, but like keep the private insurance, I'd still be like, okay, cool. As long as I can keep my doctor, my insurance, I personally don't have, a doctor, but people have doctors, people have, their age. As long as that isn't disrupted, then I don't really mind if there are certain levels of healthcare that is not a right, but is a privilege that we give to other, our other countrymen through our taxes. I understand that there is, I'm in favor of having social safety nets in general for certain things. And just the way that it's done is bad. Box said, am I wrong, or don't you get ribbons if you're deployed in a combat zone, even if you fix trucks for a living and not handle the gun? I am definitely not a Marine, if you're asking me. So that is not a question for me. Yeah, you can keep your doctor is such BS. They ran on it though. They ran on it
throughout the entire country. It was,
but Trump's a
it
liar.
was more left than any other medical plan on the planet. I do agree with what you're saying, Pacman, that there are multi-payer systems.
Of course you do. Yeah, it's the two and then the one.
I'm a big fan of either a public option or
who, Destiny or Pacman? In which case, yes.
Even a single payer system, depending on how you administer it, I think is fine. Medicare expansion, all things are fine. But you have to be honest about like, where is the electorate at? How do they feel about these things? And you can't just constantly blame donors and billionaires and even like this huge cope of calling Trump a fake populist. Trump is as populist as they come. He is one man against the system who's telling you that he's going to fight and take it all down as one person against all the corrupt donors and everything else.
And you could not believe him. You could be like, oh, he's telling you all that shit, but it's all bullshit. But that is what populism is.
This is as populist as they possibly come. Populists become dictators. This is what populism is. It's the precursor to things like fascism or authoritarian regimes. You always get these like strong great men.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. Do things that are unpopular.
I mean, he's winning elections on it, so yeah. And then
go ahead.
Yeah.
Am said, so what are actual human rights? Nothing that relies on another person to provide or action to it. So an actual human right would be life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, self-defense. Yeah, the right to try to survive. I mean, that's about it. That's about it. Now, if we're talking about inherent, like, are you asking outside of a because the way that you're asking the question, the way that the Constitution is set up is that the natural rights are there whether there's a piece of paper or not. And so if you're asking what are rights with regardless of what a paper says, that's what I would say. But obviously, when we have lots of rights given to us by these documents. Box said Cenk is closer to what the electorate wants than Destiny at this point. Easily. Yeah, better way to say Cenk is based because he's not based. He's just closer to the electorate than what Destiny wants. Your rights are my responsibility mostly. What does that mean? I would say your rights are anything that's not my responsibility. Zuby said Cenk has TDS so bad. Yes, dear, Trump is a populist. And that's what I mean with so many of them. They get so close and then way off to La La Land. Box said if I'm being eaten by a lion, I can grab a rock and take up arms and defend myself. No need for paper. Correct. Right. But not in a U.S. park. What? Is that a joke? I don't get it. Am said, I'm asking what inherent rights we have as humans. I know what they are, but the ratified rights are different. Yeah, okay. So that's what I would say. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and self-defense. One fellow said, PETA wants you eaten by the lion, then they can later euthanize the lion in one of their animal centers. And hold you up as a poster boy for why they need to save the lions somehow.
I mean, he's winning
gentlemen.
Zippy. A rock is not a gun.
It's on it, so yeah. And then
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you ruined my train of thought. Go ahead.
Sorry.
The last thing I wanted to ask
Pacman
about.
ruined my train of thought.
The last thing I wanted to ask about involves sort of both of you on Twitter. Cenk, you kind of went mega viral for.
All right, I wanted to see if he was going to show up, and he did. I wanted to see if he was going to show up, and he did. Look at that! Shout out to our boy, Funk Master General, with the $100 Cash App. $100 Cash App. Let's give him for that. And then we got another $10. Jesus motherfucking Christ. Jesus Christ on a motorbike. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much, sir. And welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. We also got another one from Jack here. Said if you are in a combat theater, you get a ribbon to wear on your dress uniform, which are hardly worn. But yeah, that, I mean, what's the word? But not symbolically, you absolutely do. You absolutely do. But shout out again to Funk Master General. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much, sir. Welcome to the party. Morty, the Overlord, is very much appreciative. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir.
Both of you on Twitter. Cenk, you kind of went mega viral for responding to Elon Musk and saying, hey, put me in charge of slashing that Pentagon budget. Elon actually replied. He asked for suggestions. Don Jr. replied something like, this is being considered, or it was considered. Destiny, you responded to the entire thing by saying sigh, S-I-G-H. I think my first question to you, Cenk, is, do you think they genuinely want to cut defense spending, or this entire Department of Grifty Edgelords thing is just really about cutting social programs at the end of the day? Or do you?
That's an interesting question. Let's go back. I would like to hear what you guys have to say, because that's going to be, I think, more accurate than what Cenk has to say. Always Cenk with the perfect screen frames. But it's actually an interesting question for
Cenk. Destiny, you responded to the entire thing by saying sigh, S-I-G-H. I think my first question to you, Cenk, is, do you think they genuinely want to cut defense spending, or this entire Department of Grifty Edgelords thing is just really about cutting social programs at the end of the day? Or do you really think the Pentagon is something they would cut?
So let's look at this conversation, right? So first of all, why do I call Trump a fake populist? Because
I don't like him and he says mean words.
Goes rah-rah, average man, which I think is smart political strategy, because he's focusing on things that are popular. That's what populism is. Wow, that's rocket science to figure that out, is to the correct electoral strategy. But then when he gets into office, what's his number one priority? Corporate tax cuts and delivering for his donors like Miriam Adelson. He put in Marco Rubio, Elise Stefanik, Mike Waltz, Mike Huckabee, all Team Miriam, neocon, warhawks. What happened? I thought you were anti-war. And part of what I'm doing here is some of the right-wing populists actually do agree with us on some issues. So, for example, anti-corruption. When I point out that Miriam Adelson gave Trump $137 million, and then he gave her 4 appointees, people, even on the right wing, go, yeah, that sucks. And that, we don't agree with Trump there. And that's a stunning turn of events. I've never seen that happen before, but it's actually genuinely happening online, and you should give them some credit for that. Now, on cutting, what I'm asking is, do you guys really?
All right, hold on. There was something. I feel like it's right here, dude. All right, give me a second. I think exactly what Trump is saying about being fake
human resources
and whatever. I think it was in this episode of Part of the Problem with Dave Smith. Even if it's not, then what they're about to talk. Actually, let me keep this here. But basically, long story short, what they were saying is like Trump is like essentially the type of person that, like, if you gave a redneck $1 billion, you'd get Trump. And so the idea of authenticity. All right, let's just take it from here. And I think we're okay. Yeah.
Departments. That's where you find wokeism. Go to a job site and tell me how much of it you find. This is a major problem, particularly for democratic socialists and woke progressives, that you have these cultural values that are diametrically opposed to the working class who you're claiming to champion. And of course, you're not going to reach those people like that. And then this stuff with the what was it, hard hats or whatever that Kamala Harris had people wearing. It's like, this is a costume to you. This is an avatar. None of this is real. But here's the thing, okay?
And so again, they're just talking about the concept of how people see through the bullshit. And people see that even though Trump is rich and he is one of the elites, then what he says, or despite all those things, what he says, we can take to some extent as much as any other politician. No, he's there specifically to be a moderator. He's not there to talk. But good one. Two in a row, two in a row. But yeah, that's the concept.
Doom to you. This is an avatar. None of this is real. But here's the thing, okay?
Yeah, so we all see that it's not real.
The working class in America likes Miller Lite and McDonald's and Hooters and Trump. You know, like that's what they like. Feel however you feel about it, but that's what they like. And
I like it.
You're sitting here talking about this, like,
a lot.
all these cultural issues. It's just quinoa is kind of a good way to put it. It's just you're the privileged class.
That's where okay. Wait. The part I missed is that this thing started from fuck. Let me get it. Okay, so we're at I'm gonna get it. We're at 101.31. 101.31. Okay. Quinoa. No, what? There's no way. That's not the first. Okay. Damn it. He definitely said that another time. What do you mean? Is it this?
Work to do. You know, it was when they handed out camo hats that said Harris Walls, and
I forget who he is. They just I guess they just do this. I always listen to this. I never watch this, but I forget. Brian Williams. Brian Williams.
A lot of folks.
I did think it was really fascinating. So let's.
Brian Williams. Brian Williams, the guy who lied about being in a helicopter that was shot down.
I think it's insulting when members of the working class, which the Democratic Party has lost entirely in our lifetimes, to insist the economy is doing great. A 12-pack of Bounty is $40. Rich folks don't feel that. Poor folks already switched to Sparkle during the COVID, during the lockdown. And I think telling them that the NASDAQ is gangbusters is further insulting. It's insulting. I think the biggest unforced error of the Biden administration by far was the border. To tell people it's not a problem is insulting. For the working class to see incoming migrants getting welcome bags, debit cards, and motel rooms is probably insulting as well. So there's a lot of work to do. You know, it was when they handed out camo hats that said Harris Walls, and the Democrats they were kind of charmed by that. Their party has gone quinoa, and the rest of America's eating at Cracker Barrel.
The Democrats have gone quinoa, and the rest of America is eating at Cracker Barrel.
You know, this is a major problem, particularly for Democratic Socialists. And
brilliantly said. Shout out to Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans with another $10. Thank you. So the prestigious badges are the ones you get to wear on your BDUs as you wear them every day. I had a Sonin CMB and got to wear the 3ID combat badge on the opposite side of my unit badge. Well, thank you for your service, sir. And thank you for the $10. And Morty very much appreciates the treat. Thank you. Bungmaster said, Lutch is the mouth of Morty, similar to the mouth of Sauron, but with shorter and better teeth. Thank you. Oh, I love it. I love you guys. Hey, shout out to Box. Oh, wrong buttons. Shout out to Box with the gifted membership. There you go, Jay. Make sure you join the Discord. You now have full access. Thank you very, very much, sir. And again, guys, make sure you are you have gifted memberships turned on. If you are looking for Cash App or Venmo, it is going to be right there. It's just the S in Cash App instead of the @ sign. But let's say hello to our boy Dietrich. Welcome to the party. Very, very, very good to see you, sir. Much obliged to see you. Is he a fallen angel? Very possible. Very, very possible. I don't know, but thank you guys. Thank you so very much. Let's dive back into what they were saying. So again, the Democrats have gone quinoa while the rest of us are eating at Cracker Barrel. Maybe I would have said something like McDonald's, but still. Because, I mean, you can get quinoa pretty cheap, and Cracker Barrel is not like super cheap. You make it at home, same thing. But the point stands.
And woke progressives that you you have these cultural values that are diametrically opposed to the working class who you're claiming to champion. And of course, you're not going to reach those people like that. And then this stuff with the, what was it, hard hats or whatever that Kamala Harris had people wearing. It's like, this is a costume to you. This is an avatar. None of this is real. But here's the thing, okay? The working class in America likes Miller Lite and McDonald's and Hooters and Trump. That's what they like. Feel however you feel about it, but that's what they like. And so you're sitting here talking about this, like all these cultural issues. It's just,
bro, we watched it together. Were you not there? We watched it together.
Quinoa's kind of a good way to put it. It's just, you're the privileged class. That's it. You're the privileged class, and you're completely out of touch with the regular American people.
Just the Indian Jesus. Me? $ the Indian Jesus.
Which is not the worst thing in the world. You can be that and still connect to them. One of the fascinating examples of that is Tucker Carlson.
Okay. I was mixing something up. When I heard this, I was like, oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. Because sometimes I get very, maybe not very, but I get a little insecure about the fact that, a lot of you guys have, had to struggle coming up and in very different ways than I did. My dad's a doctor. Like, I didn't choose that. It is what it is. But when Dave said this, and I knew this about Tucker, obviously, he's come from money, but again, it's about authenticity. Never once have I tried to claim that, I come from the streets or I'm so poor and I got to like, yeah, I ain't broke. Like, Papa Lunch ain't fucking floating my lifestyle. I'm broke, but like, worst case scenario, like, he's not gonna let me live on the streets. And stuff like that is like, how do you connect to people who are jealous or maybe even resentful of that, even if they are not consciously so? I would be. I certainly would be. I'm definitely jealous of the aspects of other people's childhood that I didn't have. So I don't see why it wouldn't go both ways. And then he said this, and I was like, God damn, when you're right,
connect to them.
You are right.
One of the fascinating examples of that is Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is absolutely in the privileged class, and he does not deny that, and no one who listens to him thinks otherwise. No one who listens to Tucker Carlson thinks, I think that guy grew up, the son of a trucker. No one thinks that. Everybody knows but he accepts that. He recognizes that, and so then he can be thoughtful and think about what is happening to people in the working class. This is something Tucker said to me when we were talking last. He said it in a better way than I could, but he goes, there's something. So his thing was that he said when the rich people really got fucked up, he said, was in the
there you go, Kwame Guam.
90s, when they stopped wearing suits and ties and started wearing t-shirts and jeans.
This is important. This is what I thought it was a slightly different message with Trump, but this is still very, 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 very relevant to Trump being a populist and just culture in general.
When the rich people really got fucked up, he said, was in the 90s, when they stopped wearing suits and ties and started wearing t-shirts and jeans. Like the Steve Jobs thing, that whole thing. He goes, that's when they lost their responsibility. And I thought it was a brilliant point, because it's a little bit counter intuitive, because you kind of feel like, oh no, they're being more casual, they're being more real. But it's like, no, because you're denying what you really are. If you accept that you are a part of this privileged class, great. Then you can actually think about what responsibility comes along with that. And then you can think about what an effort you'd have to make in order to really understand the disconnect between.
I thought that was just brilliant. I mean, let me see what else they're talking about here. Yeah, okay. So I mean, that's basically the point there. But perfectly said. Perfectly said. Being a populist isn't about how much money you have. It isn't about how you grew up. It's about, are you popular with the fucking people? And clearly, Trump is.
Now, on cutting, what I'm asking is, do you guys really mean it? And so if you really mean it, most of the corruption is in the Pentagon.
I do.
So that's where all the pork goes, because if you question that pork, they go, you're endangering our national security. You're putting all of our lives on the line, etc. So
okay, but in the same way that you were talking about, listen, everybody's talking about the two parts of the Democratic Party, but there's really three. Same thing with the Republican Party. There's the GOP, There's the MAGA loyalists who will suck Trump's dick, and then there's most normal fucking people in America. That's MAGA.
Stuff it full of pork. So I said, look, guys, if you're going to do cuts, let's start at the Pentagon. I can cut $400 billion overnight for you.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Put a one in the chat if you are down to cut. What did he say? 400 down. Put a one in the chat if you are down to cut $400 billion from the Pentagon. Because Cenk thinks that because you voted for Trump, you would be against that.
Look, guys, if you're going to do cuts, let's start at the Pentagon. I can cut $400 billion overnight for you. And what it's doing is putting them to the test. Do you really mean it or don't you? And so a couple of surprising things happen from there. First of all, if you look at my comment section, right-wing populists actually do mean it. So this is going to be really, really interesting.
Okay, why is it not a good idea?
So then Elon and Don Jr. say, yeah, we mean it too. And they follow through on at least one of the proposals that I...
Wait, why is it based if it's not a good idea? Speaking out of both sides of your mouth, is it based or is it not a good idea? Because that is that which is not a good idea is not based.
That I mentioned, which was, hey, a lot of these contracts go to these defense contractors because the generals, after they retire, go to work for those defense contractors, and that gives them an incentive to sell us out and to buy all these bloated programs because they're literally going to get paid by those same companies. And if they say, yes, you're right, which is where they are today, and we should stop that, so that conflict of interest, well, that's a left-wing position that we've been arguing for 20 years.
Yup. Am said it's absolutely a good idea. Accountability is never a bad idea. Agreed with that. Hey, shout out Sarah Marie again. Thank you. Said best wishes for the rest of your birthday and every day to come. I'm off to watch a From episode before bed. I hope you find something out. I don't think you will, but I hope you enjoy it either way. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, a treat for Morty. You have a great night. Thank you again. Buck said he's fighting off his audience capture right now. He's becoming normal again. I'll take it. Fair enough. Hey, there's Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans again with another $5. Said Tucker Carl's parents were Arn Carlson, Republican governor of Minnesota, and Barbara Carlson, the talk show host. I gotta see a picture of that. Let's get Morty his treat. We gotta see what your mommy look like. There you go. Thank you very, very much, sir. Let's see. Barbara. Is it? Oh. What am I doing? Oh yeah. What we got here? Oh Jesus. We got videos. Let's see what we talk about.
Barbara Carlson passed away on Monday at the age of 80. She had lung cancer. Carlson may be best known for her career hosting a KSTP radio talk show back in the 1990s. She also served on the Minneapolis City Council in the early 80s. And Carlson ran against Mayor Sharon Sales Belton back in 1997. We hosted a debate between the two of them. And here's a short excerpt of Carlson talking about crime in the city of Minneapolis.
The city of Minneapolis is turning into a city of the very rich and the very poor.
97.
We have a city that is so divided by income and issues.
What to do about it?
Based.
What you do about it is you put more cops on the street. What you do about it is get an immediately new police chief. I can promise you that is the first thing that I would do in the city of Minneapolis is get a new police chief.
How more cops on the street help?
I'm going to tell you, every
How will more
cop that is on the street, type 1 crimes go down by 24. And
Type 1 crimes.
type 1 crimes are murder. Type 1 crimes are rape. Type 1 crimes are assault to your person.
Eddie,
But,
girl?
our chances of getting shot, well, maybe mine are higher, but our chances of getting shot and homicides are
She's
down.
quick.
But our chances of getting robbed and broken into and have our car radio stolen and our kids harassed and all of these things are very, very, very high.
Based. Very, very based. What is it? What are they not letting Zippy say? Said Cutter. God damn it. Cutting government funding is good, but do it responsibly. It's not a dick to chop off for the woke Willie. There you go. All right. So Box said his audience was wild as fuck. It's becoming normal. This is progress. Very, very fair, sir. Yep. He is what do you call yourself? Minnesotianites? I don't know. And said Anna is rubbing off on Jeng. Just wait till Vivek and Elon work with him on the Pentagon budget. He'll have a blue MAGA hat. That's I don't know if you're allowed to make them in blue. No, but hey, I'm with it. I'm with it. If he would like, I've been watching too much 60 Days In, but if he would claim Maha, that would be epic. That would be based. That would be based. Because, I mean, as much as, there, and again, maybe I'm a little off base, but as much favor RFK has with the Democrats, I feel like that would go a long way. Maybe. I'm not only just thinking about 7 different things at one time. My bad. Taco said the problem is Trump won't cite the cut the Pentagon budget. The only cuts I've heard floated are the social programs and the Department of Education. Well, we will see. We will see. Obviously, the those are sexier things, but I don't really see why we would not see cuts, or we would see cuts everywhere but the Pentagon. That doesn't really make sense. But we'll see. We will see. Comic said, oh God, I think this is where Destiny basically starts chilling for the military-industrial complex. How liberal of him. Jack said Barbara Carlson's claim to fame was doing a talk show in a hot tub? I mean, she's definitely based, but I'll pass. Anne said he may not cut the budget, but he'll relocate. Yeah, the question was never about we're taking money away from things that are needed. We definitely need our military. We definitely don't need as much of the military. But I am definitely willing to say, hey, we need you to do what she said. I am going to assume that this is DRINKS. You guys gotta tell me who you are. I don't know your names and stuff. Yeah, I think that's a safe guess. Shout out to DRINKS for the $15 Cash App. Thank you so very, very much, sir. If that wasn't DRINKS, then let me know. And in the future, put your name in it that I know. Thank you very, very much. Very much appreciated. Where are we at here? Box and I still love Minnesota. Our Congress did a kumbaya once. That's kind of gay. None of us do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I would be if we could get Jank TIT whatever, if they can don some Make America Healthy Again stuff, that's as based as I need them to get in these 4 years. That's a big one, because he specifically said a vote for me or a vote for Trump is a vote for me. That would be wild work. But I mean, let's make that a poll. Would you? Whoa, that's not how you spell that. Would you wear a rainbow MAGA hat? Would you wear a rainbow MAGA hat? Let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chago said only cutting programs that actually help the populace. That's what they want you to think. Shout out to the mods. This is like, I don't know if you guys were here, but Papa Lutch has to stay in the hospital until Friday. So I thought it would be me and him, and then my mom and my sister going to my liberal family friend's house for my birthday Thanksgiving. I don't want to fucking go anymore. I don't want to go at all. Like the family friend does watch the show from time to time, so I feel bad, and it's nothing against them. I just like I don't want to hang out with my mom and my sister like that. Like that's not what I want to do. I want to sit around with Morty and if anything, hang out with you guys. But anyway, Am said, no, because I'm not gay, but I don't mind the gays wearing them. Well, that goes back to Box question. Who, why, who decided that I absolutely would wear a rainbow MAGA hat? Contact said purple. You want that belt, huh? I don't know if this came in before or after, but like I said, he's in the ER. So it's going to be me and Mama Lutch and my little sister and these people that I haven't seen in like 10, 15 years. Happy birthday to me! This is the first birthday that I've got celebrated since 29! Or no, wait, did we do something last year? Did we do something last year? I know I did something with you guys last year. I don't think I did anything with them last year. I think me and my dad maybe went out. I think me and my Papa Lutch went out, but I don't think that, yeah. So another birthday celebration down the drain. Box, thank you for the $5. Let's get Morty his treat here. Thank you, sir. So I know you're all thinking of a gay rainbow, but I'm thinking of a cool rainbow, a double rainbow. I'm with you there. I think we need to take that shit back. Like, rainbow is just a bunch of colors. It doesn't mean you like dicks in your butt. I mean, it does now, but I want to take that back. So, so where did I want to both say? Is it seeding something when it was just taken? No. So let's take it the fuck back. There you go. Right click said the rainbow was God's promise to man. Christians have always needed to take it back. Sounds like y'all saying the same thing.
Interest. Well, that's a left-wing position that we've been arguing for 20 years. I'll take it. That's fantastic. And that's the unity that mainstream media pretended that they were in favor of, but only when they were doing corporate deals for the rich, etc. Now we have some potential actual unity. At the same time, I'm not a sucker. I've been in this game a long time. So is it possible that they don't cut the Pentagon and instead they cut social spending? Of course, that's more likely, right? But at least,
is it more likely? Because again, the fact is that if that were to happen, then all of us who are not like far right wing would be like, oh, you lied. We don't like this. No, thank you. I don't understand why there's such a strong desire or a strong inference that because people voted for Trump. It's projection. They would go along with anything Kamala said. So they assume that we would go along with anything Trump does. Got it. I figured it out. Projection. We got one. What does it say? Happy birthday to my second favorite Jesus. No, the other one is not Mexican. So you're my favorite brown one. Thank you. Keep going. You got it. Left is about to do this too. In what way? Yeah, and again, exactly.
Social spending, of course, that's more likely, right? But at least the very first conversation we're having online about what to cut is the Pentagon. Perfect. You can't ask for anything better from the left-wing populist way of looking at it.
So, Destiny, tell us about the reason for the sigh. Is it that you think Cenk's being naive, that they're not really going to cut, or that...
Yes, I would be in favor of cutting social programs. Not to the degree that they are needed, but as Zippy just said, they are scams and being abused. It's almost like it's not a dichotomy. It's almost like you either have no programs or you have shitty programs. It's almost like you could have good programs.
That he's barking up the wrong tree here.
I don't think they plan on cutting. I don't even like the conversation. I feel like so many issues I have with this. When progressives and really with anybody talks about taxes or anybody talks about budgets, like the conversation, people always talk about like taxes, like they're either this like tool of punishment or self-flagellation, or it's like this noble way of.
Yes, theft is bad.
I think that we should figure out what are the government programs that we want to fund and why. Okay. So do we want single payer healthcare? Do we want expansion of Medicare? Do we want to do?
I'm literally on the internet with my face saying that. What else would you like me to do? What else would you like me to do? I'm literally doing that right now. You people are never happy. And it's like, instead of doing this, be like, wait, I thought you just said this. Can you explain? Because yes, sir, I can.
SNAP and WIC and benefits programs? Do we want to have tax subsidies for electric cars and so like we figure these things out. Once we figure that out, we have our liabilities. Okay, this is how much we owe, and then we need to figure out how do we raise the money for it. Okay, do we tax people? Do we tariff? Do we whatever? Like how does the government fund these programs? That should be the totality of the conversation about taxes. These arbitrary obsessions with like we got to slash the Pentagon by X dollars. We have to slash the military. We're like why? What do you want to?
Because there's too much money. See again, maybe you're not smart enough to understand what a dichotomy is. So there's more than two things. It's not just good or bad. It's not just good or bad. It is how is this done? Is Social Security bad in what context? That it exists? No. The way that it happens now? Abso-fucking-lutely. We are all paying into. I don't know how the fuck how old you are. But people my age are paying into a system that we will never, ever, 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 ever see. So yes, it is bad for you to steal my money. That is bad. But it depends on what you're talking about. It's not just good or bad. These things are more complicated than that. Nick said, you just got it, buddy. Congratulations on seeing that sad truth. Feels like you died inside a little, right? You know, hope for a little bit of better explanation, but it's just that simple. It's just that simple. Buck said it's like Destiny's never watched the 1970s cartoon Robin Hood. I think that's a safe bet. I have not either, but Zippy said peeps going nuts on Twitter over tariffs. Average wage is $70K. 3 to 5% of $70K is around 2 to 4K. That's 2 to 4K a year for people to spend or save or invest. But the prices are going to be higher. Oh, no, the prices of foreign goods.
Cut. Like, let's talk about that. Do we was the F-35 program a mistake? Do we want to have no military presence around the world? Do we shut down all of our bases? Do we want to have no more funding towards any type of participation? What do we actually want to cut? Because the random thing, imagine
the bullshit. Are you asking me to? I don't know. I don't fucking work in the government. They've done a very, 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 very good job of muddying the waters on what those cuts would be, which is precisely why it is so desperate that we need them. So are you saying that because I can't name what cuts need to be made, that they don't need to be made?
What?
That'll make no sense.
No more funding towards any type of participation. What do we actually want to cut? Because the random thing, imagine, and it's so crazy to me.
Yeah, does that mean get rid of it? Oh, it doesn't.
Me too, especially because Cenk is a business owner and all these other guys are business owners. You walk in, you ask, okay, I come into your business and you want to cut things. Is it just I'm going to cut 40% of my budget that you just fire randomly 40% of your employees? Or no, well, you look at departments maybe that aren't making money. You look at parts of your business.
Depending on the department, if we can get rid of the whole department, then yes.
Maybe you don't need, but it's never just randomly okay, we're going to cut half our thing today, unless you've got a loan that's being called in and you have to pay up or something. So I mean, that's one part of it.
What's one part of it? You didn't say anything.
The second part of it is it's okay. So to be fully transparent, I'm unhinged now when it comes to dealing with conservatives. I'm more concerned about turning out base than ever appealing to these insane people.
Okay, dude, whatever you say.
There is no principled foundation to what conservatives believe regarding anything having to do with foreign policy or the military. The exact same.
America first. What the fuck are you talking about? America first. That's the principle. America, the country that we are in right now, first, meaning before the other countries. Israel is a different country. Ukraine is a different country. That's a principle. Again, that's a false dichotomy. Maybe an entire department is bad, you fucking retard. How are you not getting this? How are you not getting this? It depends. It depends. It depends. See, and again, you don't understand. No, okay, you're just too dumb for this. I'm sorry. You're too dumb to understand that there's more than two options in a question. There can be a question in which there are more than two options. I've said that multiple times, and yet you still go back to either or. I'm sorry, but you're not intelligent enough for this conversation.
Regarding anything having to do with foreign policy or the military. The exact same people who will say there were no wars under Trump will
no new wars every single fucking time. There was no wars under Trump. Nobody fucking said there was no wars under Trump. All the wars were under Trump because Biden was in office. All the wars were there because Obama fucking drone bombed an American citizen. Yes, of course there were wars. The world didn't start on January 6th. The world didn't start on January 20th, 2020. You fucking moron. What are you talking about? No new wars. No new wars. No new wars.
Ignore the fact that he hid how much more we were drone striking people in Yemen.
Which new? Oh, so that's a new war. Oh, no. Obama started that war. Okay.
And people will say there are no
more. No, I think that was Hillary, but either way.
More wars under Trump, and they'll ignore the fact that
Nope, new wars.
More we were drone striking people in Yemen. People will say there are no more wars under Trump.
No new wars.
And they'll ignore the fact that we allowed, the allies that we had in Syria to die.
Oh, so Syria was Trump's war that he started. Not a new war, you fucking moron.
I will say no more wars under Trump.
No new wars.
Ignore the fact that Iran attacked Saudi Arabia.
Not a new war.
That the United States bombed a Syrian airport.
Still not a new war.
Or that Assad was chemically gassing his people.
I think that's still Syria, you fucking moron.
Still, the border riots were raging on in the Gaza Strip.
The border. Oh wait, on Gaza. Oh yeah, because Trump started. Trump started the war in Gaza. You heard it out of Destiny's mouth. You heard it out of Destiny's mouth. No, it's not. You're just too dumb to understand. Unwanted Foe said, no new wars under Trump. No, that sounds bad. Let's edit out a word. No wars under Trump. Ah, better. Now I can argue against this great straw man. Yup. Nuh-uh. Trump did.
It's just it's ridiculous.
I indeed agree. Let's dilly on agreement that it is fucking ridiculous, the words that are coming out of your mouth. And please don't break it. Please don't break it now. Don't break it now. But dilly to you guys for not bringing up the color of his hair or the fact that he's a cock. It took 25 different streams to cover Destiny, but finally, we've gotten past the fact that yes, he's a cock. No, he does not.
Gassing his people still. That border riots were raging on in the Gaza Strip. It's ridiculous. So for the first time ever, Russian troops were engaging with Ukrainian.
And what are those troops doing now that Trump's been okay.
Troops directly in the Donbass, I think 2018. This idea that Trump has some allegiance to some foreign policy
I got you.
Where it's we're going to cut military spending is absolutely not true.
Well, even more so then. I mean, if that's true, and they'll consider cutting something because Cenk's bringing it up, isn't that a reason for him to be involved rather than saying, this is a waste of time? I don't know.
No, I mean, as much as being dumb is not a reason to be timed out.
I mean, I just hope that people are aware of what I just need people to be aware of what's going on. If you get
ban him. Do not ban him.
If you get they managed to cut $50 million from the military budget, and that money, was all earmarked for the VA or something. That's not a good thing, right?
Shout out to Trey Williams. Welcome to the party. Good to see you, brother. Said, happy birthday, big dog. I remember watching the stream while waiting on my son to be born. 2 years. Oh my goodness. 2 years. Big peace. All blessings. Wish you nothing but success. Thank you. And hey, 2 years to your son. Dilly. Thank you for being here, brother. Zippy said the TDS is so bad we forgot Destiny is a blue-haired cock whose wife left him for a nerdier guy. I asked you not to. No, but good job. Good job. You guys legitimately did forget. And I appreciate that because there's other things clearly to make fun of than his stupid hair and the fact that he's a cuck. Box said I dismissed Destiny's cuck charges outright. 50% of normal marriages end in divorce. As a man, a weak man, he gets a pass for a bad relationship from me. He pays child support. Yeah, but he let it happen over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, I personally don't really give a shit. I'm probably one of the, I mean, I'm not a liberal, but among the people who are here, it's probably like you and Trey and Taco. And then I'm like by far the most liberal one here. So like, I really don't care, which is why it's annoying. Oh, he's a cuck. Yes, we all fucking know. That's not new information. That's not a dunk. You didn't, like, I don't care. I saw the hair. I saw the videos. So I just think it's low hanging fruit. And there's always somebody who's going to be, oh, this guy, he's got a cuck. Like, okay, how about the arguments that he's making? Did those matter? Yeah, so I don't give him a pass. I just personally don't care. Excuse me. Doctor said exacerbating wars is still bad. Trump fanned the flames in the Middle East under the guise of peace deals. I don't like Biden, but at least he ended a 20+ year war. Which war did he end? I am very dumb. Which war did he end? Are you talking about? Are you putting a feather in Biden's cap for Afghanistan? Is that what you're doing? Because so we're going to pretend that it wasn't Trump's plan to get out of Afghanistan, and that plan specifically wasn't botched by Biden to make it one of the worst things in American military history. Okay, dude. If that's what you think, I don't know what to tell you.
Budget, and that money, was like all earmarked for the VA or something. Like, that's not a good thing, right? Like, we want, we want something. I wish that people just spoke in policies more rather than like, we need to tax billionaires because we hate them, or like, we need to give tax cuts to billionaires because they save us, or we need to do that. It's like, what are the policies that we want to support? What do we want to cut from the military? What do we like? That's, I think, the more important conversations.
Cenk?
But like, again, so he's taking this position. He doesn't like the idea of cutting all this stuff. And so instead, what he's saying is, oh, well, I'm too highfalutin to have these silly conversations. Okay, what we should really be talking about is what exact policy, what exact cut should we have? You haven't even agreed to cut anything yet. What do you mean? This is exactly like, hey, when in Discord, when I'm like, hey, do you guys want to watch a movie? You're like, which movie? What time? Motherfucker, I don't know. I'm just now asking you. The plan has started right now. I don't have the plan yet. I have to agree. I have to figure out that you guys do, in fact, want to watch a movie before we pick a movie and a time to watch that movie. And so he doesn't like the fact that we want to make cuts. And so because those cuts haven't been made or spelled out, or maybe they have been, but released, then, well, they don't matter. I'd rather talk about which cuts we're making. Well, I would too, but you're fighting against the cutting in the first place. So we can't get to what is being cut if you're still at don't cut. That'll made sense.
It's amazing. I mean, unfortunately, this is proving at least part of MAGA's point here, which is Destiny is now defending the Pentagon against cuts. Like, that's the neocons. And then we brought in the neocons, the Liz Cheney's and the Dick Cheney's.
Wait, should we abolish our entire military?
No, of course not.
Why would you even, again, that is something that I would expect from somebody who doesn't understand false dichotomies. Oh, so we just get rid of the whole military? Yeah, that's what we're saying. That is what the average American thinks. Get rid of the entire military, you fucking moron. Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans said foreign affairs are only as complicated as we make them. I tend to agree. This is not, by far, not my area of expertise. Thank you again for the $5, Morty. Very, very, very much appreciates. But yeah, I mean, America first. Destiny claimed that we have no basis for our foreign policy. Is that not a basis? I mean, you might hate it, You might think it's the dumbest thing in the world, but it's a basis, is it not? America first. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. So he said, Destiny, dude, bro, move. Nothing. Move on. Nothing and everything has happened or will. Just ask what it is. Ask Bill Clinton. Close. Yup. But even a fucked pullout is still a pullout. Better than more applicators. Yeah, like, okay. But there was never an option of no pullout. This is again a false dichotomy. That was not the options. The options were pull out the way Biden did, or pull out under a much longer time period with much better planning and getting the soldiers out last. So again, where there is a dichotomy, you've picked the wrong options. So I stand on this, that you are not intelligent enough to have this conversation. I'm sorry.
Cheney's and the Dick Cheney's. I don't
Wait,
want
should
to
we
be that
abolish our
party.
entire military?
No, of course not. I'm gonna.
Bro, and you know what? I'll let Ann speak for herself.
Tell you what to do in a second, but this idea of like, don't touch the Pentagon.
Wait, I never said don't touch.
True. Destiny is bloodthirsty. His son is going to college. He doesn't care. Not going to be my kids. Not going to be anything that affects me. So bomb them all. Bomb the brown people.
I just said name what you want to get rid of. I didn't say don't touch it. I just said
so all the bullshit that doesn't matter. I don't work in the government. I don't extract from the government in ways that I shouldn't be. So I don't know what those ways are. When people who look into this stuff figure it out, then we'll be able to tell. Oh, that no, we want to keep that. That no, let's get rid of that. That yes, we would like to keep that. I don't understand why that is complicated. What is complicated about that? Thought so. But just as I thought. Did I miss these? Funkmaster said, cut the transmission surgeries and other such nonsense. Yep. And so there's no such thing as a good tax plan. There's just different impacts and prioritization of desired results. Agreed. And I think even with that being said, there is a tax plan that could be reasonable, not good, not great, but reasonable. Just try. But Destiny's like, no. The establishment's got it right. They're perfect. Hey, shout out to B. Hey, thank you so very much for the happy birthday. And I can smell that Thanksgiving dinner from here. Welcome. Jackass Whiskey said, I want our military budget to be a pre-World War II levels. Yeah. Why not? I mean, we did pretty good in World War II, right? I mean, why not? There we go. Thank you, sir. Very, very, very much appreciated and agreed. Moving on. Thank you.
Wait, I never said don't touch money. I just said name what you want to get rid of. I didn't say don't touch it. I just said
so. But like, you're happy to Are you happy to have the conversation about cutting the Pentagon first?
If you have a thing you want to cut from it, then yeah, sure.
Okay.
So again, he's hiding behind this fact. So if I was Jay, I was like, wait. Are you under the impression that there's nothing in the Pentagon that could be cut? Is that the argument that you're making? There's nothing in the Pentagon. And of course, well, no, okay, exactly. So I don't know what should be cut in the Pentagon, and you don't know what should be cut in the Pentagon, but clearly we agree that the Pentagon has too big of a fucking budget, right? Exactly. So you're just arguing to argue now.
First.
If you have a thing you want to cut from,
yes, we have a thing we want to cut. We just don't know what it is yet.
Then yeah, sure.
Okay, then you agree with us. Thank you.
Okay, so like you're not like, even as a general thing, you're like, well, I'm not sure about cutting the Pentagon. That's amazing to me. So why did I pick?
It's amazing to me. Good call, Jake, because that's the way that he was talking.
General thing, you're like, well, I'm not sure about cutting the Pentagon. That's amazing to me. So why did I pick the Pentagon? First of all, I would much rather have that than cutting social programs. But more importantly, that's where all the waste is. And that's not theoretical or hypothetical. It's real. They just failed their 7th audit in a row.
Well, not all the waste, obviously. We have plenty of social waste. But I mean, there's, I think when he says most, in terms of like dollar amount, I think he's right.
And that's not theoretical or hypothetical. It's real. They just failed their 7th audit in a row just yesterday. And in the last.
Yeah. Would you be okay with cutting $900 toilet seats? Yes. Oh no! Americans and Social Security. What are we gonna do?
Audit that they failed, they said we can't find $400 billion. Well, if you can't find it,
forget about the fact that we're actually getting the fucking toilet seat. Forget about the fact that we're actually getting something. At least you spend $900, you get something back. $400 billion for a Thanos snap. I'm good, bruh. I'm good.
But that they failed, they said we can't find $400 billion. Well, if you can't find it, then you're not going to miss it. So that's why I say $400 billion. In 2015, they buried a report that said they had done $125 billion in wasteful spending and didn't know where it went.
And yeah, like that's just ridiculous. So Anne said we can't have pre-World War II budget. So okay, yeah, not the budget, but I think in terms of what the American military was compared to the militaries of the rest of the world pre-World War II, clearly we handled our shit. So unless we got something more organized than the Axis powers, and I think the level of superiority that we had pre-World War II is as far as we need to go. Fair?
$5 billion in wasteful spending.
That must be a nice fucking toilet cover.
And didn't know where it went. Not $1 million, $125 billion. So they're just robbing us blind. The central area of the robbery is the Pentagon. It's not about
when we say this money is gone.
So let's see. Okay, well, I forgot we had this. Really, 64% of you, 64% of you are fucking gay. Gay, 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 gay. You're all gay. 64% of you are gay. That's so gay that you wouldn't wear a MAGA hat because it was rainbow. You're fucking gay. That's so gay. That's so gay. What a fucking beta move. That's so gay. Anyway,
area of the robbery is the Pentagon.
Okay. Oh, that's why. I'm like, what is caps lock? Is the Pentagon? God damn it. The Pentagon the biggest waste of the U.S. taxes? Let's try that. Shout out to Box. And I guess they own our rainbow now, right? Yeah, I mean, Champagne Christians. Champagne Christians. You ain't shit. You ain't shit.
It's blind. The central area of the robbery is the Pentagon. It's not about
when we say this money is gone. Is this like they can't account for it, or is this like there are certain projects that maybe
it's not my job to do your education for you.
Office of Inspector General can't have insight to without clearance, so we don't know because you're making it sound like
wait. Yeah. So Am said we didn't win World War II. We waited to the last minute to enter, and there's a reason why we're feared. Once the fear is gone, along with the budget, is replaced with aggression. Great. So let's take that piece by piece. The U.S. didn't win World War II. Well, we did though. Like, I mean, we were not the. What is fuck? There we go. We can argue about whether U.S. won World War II, but you know, clearly we didn't lose. Clearly, America wasn't taken over in World War II. So that's kind of all I meant. We waited to the last minute to enter. Bingo. That is what I would like us to do with any future threat. To wait until the last fucking minute until we need to enter. not fighting wars so that we don't have to fight wars like we're doing in 2 places across the world right now. Then there's a reason why we're feared. Yeah, I'm not saying to get rid of that fear. We were feared during World War II, were we not? I'm getting an echo. Talk to me. Okay, I'm gonna assume that's just you then. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm not saying get rid of the fear. I'm saying we don't need as much money to create that level of fear. That is what I'm saying.
Go on. Is this like they can't account for it, or is this like there are certain projects that maybe an Office of Inspector General can't have insight to without clearance, so we don't know? Because you're making it sound like the money is just like what they're pocketing it, or what?
They can't account for it. They literally
well, there is a difference though, Cenk, between spent on stuff we don't know versus we can't account for it. Those are 2 different things, admittedly. And I don't know if
both really, 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 really good reasons to make cuts, in my opinion. Whether you spent them on things that you didn't need or you don't have any fucking clue where the money is, you don't need that money.
Don't know versus we can't account for it. Those are 2 different things, admittedly. And I don't know if we have visibility into, is the money gone or are they not able to account for the program spending?
I can't believe I'm having this conversation.
So, okay, what would you be comfortable with the fact that, with me saying we didn't lose World War II? That's all the point I'm making, is that the aggression and that was taken over on America was not enacted because of the strength of the and fear of the U.S. Now, okay, maybe you want to argue that the reason we got attacked in the first place is because we didn't have that level of fear. Okay, we can have that conversation. But I'm just not sure where you are coming from. Jackass, thank you for the $2. Said, I think we should get rid of the fear. Why would we want to get rid of the fear? I definitely don't want to get rid of the fear. I think fear is the best motivator, especially on the world stage. Okay, but the point I'm trying to make is that the pre-World War II. So, okay, I'll put it this way: do you think that pre-World War II, the relative strength of the U.S., if that was replicated in the modern day, where if it was 5 to 10, now it's 50 to 100 or whatever it is, it's the same level of superiority. If that level of superiority is maintained, do we need to go beyond that level of superiority? That's a question directly to Am. If we lower the budget and maintain the fear and have as much of superiority as we did on December 6th, would you be okay with that? I definitely agree. We need the fear. Yeah. Zippy said we need to use fear to keep bad actors in line. Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely disagree with the fact that we should get rid of the fear. But I don't think that cutting $4 billion that goes to nowhere is going to get rid of that fear.
Program spending.
I can't believe I'm having this conversation with 2 people on the left.
No, Cenk, to be clear, I'm with you on cutting. I'm with you 1,000% on cutting Pentagon. I even would tell you specific things I would cut. My only gripe is I don't know from what I've seen that when they say unaccounted for, it means spent on mystery stuff.
Why does that matter? Why does that matter to the larger conversation? It either was spent on shit that wasn't needed or it literally disappeared out of thin air. Either way, that money does not need to go to them.
I don't know that that's accurate, but I'm with you 100% on cutting.
And so when Elon asked for specific suggestions, I said, look, the reason I did the conflict of interest on the generals first, number one, every real person agrees. The only people who don't agree are, the corporate guys who are like, oh, well, of course, once we retire, we should be able to take millions of dollars from these different corporations we've been serving all along. So, but in terms of the budget, I said in my tweet, obviously you'd have to go line by line. If the Pentagon says to me, there's $125 billion in wasteful spending and we don't know where it is, how am I supposed to tell you where it is? They just told us they don't know where it is.
Good point, Cenk. They don't know where it is. That's why we don't know where it is.
how am I supposed to tell you where it is? They just told us they don't know where it is. So if you give me the details of the plan, look, this is now fantastical, right? And then now
I agree with you there. Taco says if we make enemies out of allies with trade wars, as well as, well, I mean, I don't know about NATO, but yeah, we will lose World War III. I mean, there's definitely a strong point there about our allies, but again, the state of the military now ain't no, like, we've got the fear. We've got the fear. That is not an issue. And people are afraid of Donald Trump. We lived in a better world when people had that fear. It's just that simple. So Jackass Whiskey before said that I think we should get rid of the fear. Now with another $5. Thank you, sir. So the business of America is not war. The business of America is business. Agreed. But guess what? If we are just doing business and we can't prevent people from taking our business, then it's their business, and now we have no business. Yeah, I mean, I think that is a pretty basic law of nature, that if you have shit and can't stop people from taking it, they gonna take it. They gonna take it. But thank you for the $5. Very much appreciated, sir. And said, because the threats of that time are different than the threats of today. Warfare looks different today and now will include advanced technology and space. Plus, we've been naughty or not adored. So the original question was, if we had that same level of superiority, then you would be okay with the threats. So you're saying yes, you would be okay with the cuts if we had that level of superiority? Yeah, me too. I don't know what the fuck happened.
The details of the plan. Look, this is now fantastical, right? And then now, is there any chance that Elon goes, hey, you know what? Cenk's a businessman. He went to Wharton like I did. He's a genuine populist. All right, let's bring him in. Let's look at the line items one by one in the Pentagon budget and then take out the wasteful spending. If we did that, do you have any idea how happy the American people would be? And that would be actual unity. They would love it. And we could show them, here's the waste. Here's the thing that didn't work. Here's how they spent 8,000. They did a markup of 8,000% on soap dispensers at Boeing, et cetera, et cetera. Now, are they really going to do that? Probably not. Probably they're going to say, oh, yeah, first we're going to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and everything that helps the average man, and we'll get back to the Pentagon later. That's probably how it'll go. But even if that's how it goes,
because those things are things that people will see in their real lives. Unfortunately for everyone, these foreign policy and macroeconomics are not sexy issues and are not things that people pay attention to. That's not our fault. That's not your fault. That's just people are not paying attention to stuff that's not sexy. So you got to do the sexy stuff. That is American politics.
Average man, and we'll get back to the Pentagon later. That's probably how it'll go. But even if that's how it goes, now a lot of the right-wing populists go, wait a minute, I thought you said you were going to cut the Pentagon. I'm in favor of cutting them. Guys, take the win. Right-wing.
I'm doing my best to do both. I think both can be the answer.
Populists are saying cut the Pentagon. This is what we've been dreaming about our whole lives. And now you're against it. That just doesn't make any sense at all. Take the win.
I'm for it. I don't know. I'm certainly not against it. I think the question is, as you're pointing out, at the end of the day, they probably won't do it. If we get people thinking it's a good idea, it still is a win, right, Destiny?
If they cut the Pentagon?
If they say to Cenk on Twitter,
if they cut the stuff that needs to be cut, how are you having so much trouble with this? Again, just ask him outright. So do we agree that there does need to be budget cuts in the government, the government? Let's start there, because it doesn't seem like you agree with that. So when he says yes, they're like, okay, then we're on the same page. You're just fighting to fight. We know that you know that I know, or that I don't know, the specifics of the question that you're asking. You also know, and I also know, and you also know that I also know, that not having the details of the question have nothing to do with the overall conclusion. So you're just treading water.
If they cut the Pentagon?
If they say to Cenk on Twitter, we're going to consider that, and then they don't do it, and then right-wingers go, hey, you said you were going to do it, but you didn't do it. That's still a win of sorts.
Yes.
That would never.
No, because they would never do that. They would.
Where is it? You're implying a world where the right would take accountability. Called it. It's almost like you play by a script. It's almost like I can read you like a fucking book. Yeah, well, yes, we are implying that. Can you answer the question? You, one of these days, it's gonna slip out. It's gonna slip out.
Going to do it, but you didn't do it. That's still a win of sorts.
That would never. You're implying a world where the right wing has the accountability for literally anything they do ever. Which
yeah, they've never done it, but theoretically.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Pac-Man was willing to say, well, yeah, we're talking hypothetically.
I mean, like theoretically,
and he still won't say
it. Theoretically, in a world where I can wave a magic wand.
So I think MAGA has changed in a way that the rest of the country and media ecosystem does not understand. So MAGA in the old days was yes, daddy, harder daddy, right? And so these days, does that wing of MAGA still exist? Absolutely. If Trump, the demigod, says something, they're going to change their position and support him completely. But there is a different wing of right-wing populists now. And I see them openly disagreeing with Trump on Israel, and on several other issues. So, maybe I'm wrong. And then you guys...
You're not, Jank, for once in your fat fucking life. I'm just kidding. But no, you're not wrong. We really got 50 guys. We got 17 people here, and we got 10 votes. 7 of you can break the tie. Is the Pentagon the biggest waste of U.S. taxes? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let me know, guys. Context said, I usually don't judge people's looks, but David Pakman's mouth is wider than his eyes, and his thin lips freak me out. Fucking hottest.
And on several other issues.
His what? His mouth is what? So, I think it's his hair. I think his hair makes it seem like his head goes all the way to here. Because, like, on this side, it's just that. And so, because if you look, it's supposed to be that your eyes are your eyes are lined up with the corner of your mouth, just a little bit, inward. He's I don't know. Oh wait, I'm on the other side. I don't know. Honey. Oh wait. Almost. I almost missed it. Projection. Yeah, we're the ones. No, but I mean, fair enough. There's definitely sycophants on either side. Oh, did we break the tie? We broke the tie. No, says the poll that the Pentagon is not the biggest waste of U.S. taxes. All right. So then, where is the biggest waste of taxes of the U.S. tax system? Yeah, it's his fat head that it's his fat head. We're talking about this guy, not this guy. You guys are funny tonight. Sorry, kiddies. Speaking that language, Jack said after World War II, the U.S. became a police force of trade among nations. That continued through the Cold War. What that means to U.S. taxpayers is that the U.S. spends its blood and treasure. Fair enough. Well, yeah, I want to spend less of that. Less of that, please. So I have to tell you, you are far too lost. Source?
And I see them openly disagreeing with Trump on Israel, and on several other issues. So, maybe I'm wrong. And then you guys will get to say, oh, I can't believe it. You thought that there was any right-wing populist who actually meant anything and had principles. That's such a joke. They all wound up saying, no, add to the Pentagon. Let the generals take any job they want. Israel first, America eighth. If it turns out I'm wrong about that, and all the right-wing populists were frauds, and they all just fall in line and do whatever Trump demands of them, including following all of his donors' dictates, then okay, I'll own up to being wrong. But I think that right-wing populism does exist, and it will challenge Trump on some things, and probably Israel first.
Yeah, the party that elected the guy who's working with the richest man in the world and has now put him in charge of a faux government agency to cut government spending as this guy enriches himself by tens of billions of dollars. I'm sorry, I'm not buying that one at all. That's an unbelievable position to.
Wait. But you just didn't say. You just said 4 half sentences. You didn't finish any of those sentences.
Elected the guy who's working with the richest man in the world and has now put him in charge of a faux government agency to cut government spending as this guy enriches himself by tens of
It was fine. It was one sentence.
billions of dollars. I'm sorry.
So it was just one thing. Like, oh yeah, he's gonna enrich himself. Nancy Pelosi.
Not buying that one at all. That's a
No, politicians definitely don't do that. Only Trump is the one who's Trump's the only one who's lost money, bro. Am said the majority of aid provided in World War II resembles Ukraine aid. The Johnson Act limited credit for unpaid debt from World War I. In 1939, belligerents could cash and carry weaponry. Hence, Lend-Lease came about. That's going to be a much bigger conversation than I can tackle.
That's an unbelievable position to actually be in. That as much as we might hate the corporate donor class or whatever, and then vote.
Does that count as an ad hominem? That's just ridiculous. Your position is just ridiculous. Why is that? That's what we call just saying things.
Position to actually be in. That as much as we might hate the corporate donor class or whatever, and then vote for Donald Trump, who literally received how much media.
Well, look at Goldman's gonna look at. I love Elon, but he better turn out to be a Tony Stark and not a Lex Luthor. His only power comes from people liking him. He was the Tesla guy way long ago, and people cared and went, hey, yeah, oh, Doge, cool, yeah. But in terms of influence, it wasn't until Twitter. And so with the fact that there are things like Blue Sky and Threads and whatever, I don't think that, I think it would take something drastic to have a legitimate mass exodus. But, it can happen. But yeah, I'm optimistic. I certainly don't. Again, I don't have a fucking crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm very much optimistic, and more so than I ever have been.
I'm not buying that one at all.
I'm not buying that one. Yeah, and I'm Destiny, so I'm not buying it, and therefore it's not true.
That's an unbelievable position to actually be in. That as much as we might hate the corporate donor class or whatever, and then vote for Donald Trump, who literally received how much media coverage? Like, how much did Elon spend? $44 billion to buy Twitter to turn it into a Trump marketing platform? That's unreal to me that anybody would think that something good is coming from that.
All right. Well, listen, we're making predictions about the future. We won't know today whether it will or won't happen. So let's put a pause on the conversation there. Stephen, Kenneth, Destiny, Benel II, and Cenk Uygur. Always great having both of you guys on.
Thank you, David.
All right.
We did it, guys.
That 5,700 youth in the U.S. between 2019 and 2023. Why am I hearing my own surgery? And over 8,000. Oh, all right. That was the replay. All right, guys. So clearly, the left is not really sure where they want to go. And I think that is even more of an optimistic point for anybody who is right of center. Near I guess around the beginning of this year, when the Israel stuff really kicked up and the Jew stuff really kicked up, that's when I was really trying to back away from the conservative voting block and be more of just oh, okay, like we were both anti-woke together, but I'm not one of you. I don't think about shit like that in that way. And I find that weird, as do most people. And okay, maybe you have some truth about the world that nobody else knows, but we're not ready for that yet. You ahead of your time. As we, obviously, as we got even closer to the election within the last month or two, it didn't matter anything except, good versus evil for real. And now that we're moving away, I especially over this year, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how, because everybody converges on Trump for the election, and then everybody kind of goes back out to what their own personal beliefs are. So it's going to be very interesting to see how comfortable I am with the label of conservative over the next 6 to 12 months. I have a feeling that I'm going to shed it completely, but we'll see. He said we dodged a bullet when the cackling alcoholic lost to Trump. Had she won, we'd be in World War III. Trump has a lot on his plate and looks hungry. I think it will get better. No more warmongers. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Thank you. I used to, you guys know the other one, the full black one that I have for my extra warmness in the winter. And my one client that's like an hour away from here. I saw them last week, and it was like 48 degrees. Or no. It was like 52 degrees here, but they live like way north Jersey Shore. Like the tippy, like if you look at New Jersey. Come on, open image. So like they live, where are we? So like I live in this general region. I'm not gonna fucking tell you exactly where. I live in this general region. They lived up here. Like up here, not quite on the panhandle, but all the way up here. And so that's an hour drive from my my general region. And so it was like 50-ish degrees. And I was like, that's fine. But I'm like, you know what? They live by the shore. It's a little bit further north. Let me bring my jacket and my hat and whatever. And you guys know, if you've been here since last winter, you know I love my hat. My hat, my beanie, it just fucking, it works. And I was like, you know what? Let me just leave it here. No, let me bring it. I'll bring it and leave it in the car. No, let me bring it. I left it at their fucking house. And I'm probably not going to see them until after Christmas. So mad. So right now, I've got, my replacement, my backup hat, which is a Dunder Mifflin. But I don't like that. I don't want to be repping shit like that, So I'd be wearing it like this. Obviously without the headphones. But this is my winter getup. My winter getup, man. 21. Jesus Christ. It is 39. 39. Not bad. What did I miss here? Now I'm getting hot. Jesus fuck. All right, now I'm getting hot. I forgot I had that on. Okay. Buck said, I'm a lefty at heart and a true independent in the voting booth. At this point, it's the DNC's fault. I want them to do well. I want all of us to do well. I said, shit, me too. In the last part, I want us all to do well. I don't give a fuck about the DNC, but I do want us all to do well. Jack said, NATO and or CETA will never commit their men to die in combat. It's all support. In addition, the U.S. is subsidizing the economies of NATO members since they don't ever meet their commitments. Fair enough. And said, conservative is a faction of Republican. MAGA is a compendium. Absolutely. And I'm finding my way. Dylan said, conservative, I think, is the wrong title for the rest of us. We all just lumped into this category thanks to the leftoid loonies. Yep. It'll play out. It'll as long as we are deliberate about it, it'll happen, or it'll happen organically. No way. Tulsi is against war. That typically happens when you go and fight shitty wars. So, like, I don't know what you mean. So no, Amp is her own person, and she is not under any control of me. So thank you for the $5, but gotta say this is not the kind of thing that I'm going to pull up in the future. So, you can ask her if she's interested, and if she said she's not interested, then that is up to her. Simping is not going to be tolerated. That is how you get a sausage party. Please be nice to Am and to everybody. That is what we stand for. So, you can ask, but we respect people. So no means no. But I want to give a big thank you to you guys, man. You were really, really, really amazing to me tonight. I did not expect many of you to show up. I thought you'd be out doing your thing, hanging out with your people, all that good stuff. But here you are. I guess we are our people, right? We are our people. So dilly to you. Thank you so very, very much for being here. We are about to head to the after party. If you are a member, you are very much welcome. Just make sure you are in the Discord server and you let me know if you haven't gotten the permissions, and we will see you over there. Let's end here with our boy Guantech. Said, remember, guys, when talking to Dems at Thanksgiving, just remind them that they lost because they weren't pro something and they were just anti-Trump. They might have a chance next time if they change. Indeed. Yeah, being anti-Trump was proven not to work by the majority of the country. Well said, sir. Well said. I want to give a big thank you, guys. I'm gonna say it today. We're past the point of where I can spend 10 minutes, just going through all of this with and everybody and getting the buttons. It's a lot harder than a lot more coordination. You guys know what it is. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, this is absolutely a free show. There is no cover price. There is nothing like that. But if you do enjoy what you see, unfortunately, money is what makes the world go round. And if you got some, then this is where to put it. Definitely sign up as a member. It's not just about, me being a dancing monkey and saying funny things and whatever. It's about building a community. And we are doing that. So make sure you join the Discord. Again, it is absolutely free. The after party is for members only, but I suggest that it is a good thing for you. It starts at just $2.99 a month. That's 12 after parties, if not more, including members only live streams here on YouTube. Comes with movie nights, all that good stuff. Come through, guys. I am very much looking forward to it. Thank you so very, very much. Once again, this is Morty, and this is the last time you will see a 34-year-old Lutch. And before we go, guys, remember, at the end of the month, we are done with Twitch. We are done with Instagram. We are done with Kick. If you are not on YouTube, X, or Rumble, you will not be able to see the show. Make sure you are following me there. And if you are a member, send me an email at TheIndianJesusOfficial@gmail.com. If you've been a member for 1 year or longer, send me an email. I want to give you something a little special just for sticking with me. So thank you so very, very much. Again, once again, guys, this is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.